As the Gulf Coast region braces for Hurricane Delta, we enter the eye for a 7A Region 1 matchup. Murphy limps in on a 3-game losing streak, looking to keep their playoff hopes alive, while Bryant is trying to put their season back on the winning track with a victory. Can the Panthers recover their pride and get a well-needed region win, or will the Hurricanes strengthen into a Cat 5 disaster and send the Panthers back home licking their wounds? We'll find out next with the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. Good evening, and thanks for joining us. I'm Al Wheaton, joined by Corey LeBounty. Down on the sidelines, we have Mike Herndon. Corey, thanks to Hurricane Delta, we've got Thursday night football.
Every day of the week, with the exception of Sunday, we've had high school football here in the Mobile-Baldwin County area.
Right.
And that's a first that I can recall. A short week means you have to make extra adjustments as coaching staffs, so it'll be interesting to see how these two teams in this 7A Region 1 matchup adjust.
Murphy coming into the ball game, losing their third in a row to Baker last week. We had that ball game, and Baker just clearly dominated the Panthers last week, Corey.
No question about it. We're going to see if there's any improvement by the Panthers tonight as they have to go ahead and play their A game. They don't want a 4-game losing streak. They had high expectations coming into this season. And, you know, Bryant started the season off 2-0. That's the first time since 1999 that they got off to a 2-0 start. So, again, you look at this community coming out and supporting this team. It'll be interesting to see what the results come out with tonight.
Now, Murphy is technically the home team because this game was moved from Friday to Thursday. There's a ball game at Ladd tonight. So we are in Irvington for Bryant. So Murphy's the home team. Let's take a look at your checklist, Corey.
Yeah, absolutely. Murphy has to establish offensive balance. They need to be able to run the football as well as pass the football also. They have to be able to tackle in space. 1 week ago, they really got drained. They were on the field too long.
Right.
If you tackle in space, you'll be just fine. Panther penalty progress. You know, last week there were several unsportsmanlike penalty conduct called against the Panthers, 1 ejection, so they want to clean that up tonight. You look on the flip side of the football for the Bryant Hurricanes, they have to eliminate offensive turnovers. That's one of the things that Doug Haynes, in his 4 years as head coach, has preached. Don't beat yourselves. Pressure and contain the quarterback. Alex Howell gave this Hurricane defense fits 1 year ago. He's back at quarterback tonight, so they have to make sure they pressure and disrupt him. Stay ahead of down and distance is very important for Bryant as well.
Thanks for that checklist, Corey. Speaking of checking, let's go down and check in with Mike Herndon on the sidelines and find about game field conditions. What's up, Mike?
Well, the last couple of weeks we've been talking about these unseasonably cool, nice, brisk temperatures. We're back to normal South Alabama early October temperatures tonight. It feels really muggy down here. The field looks in great shape, but these players are going to have to stay hydrated tonight to avoid the cramps. And thankfully, we don't have a hurricane to worry about, but stay hydrated and make it through the game.
All right, Mike, we appreciate that. We'll be checking back with him shortly. We're going to take a break and come back and give you the kickoff. It is Bryant versus Murphy, and yes, we are in the eye. You're watching the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
What's the matter, baby? You're not feeling good?
School-aged children are at a higher risk of getting and spreading germs and viruses. To help protect the spread, students are encouraged to stay home when sick. Parents, it's important for your child to remain at home at least 24 hours after they no longer have a fever of 100 degrees or higher without the use of medications. Please help us maintain a healthy learning environment.
We welcome you back to Irvington, Alabama. We are in the eye for a 7A Region 1 matchup. Al Wheaton, Corey LeBounty on the sidelines, Mike Herndon. Handling statistics for us tonight, we have China Powell. Bryant won the toss, and they deferred until the second half, so Murphy will be taking the kickoff. A lot of injuries have taken place for the Murphy Panthers this week. It's almost like they're playing with a MASH unit tonight, so especially on the defense. So we'll have those names and numbers as we get ready to get going here tonight. Tanaka Scott is back to receive along for Murphy with Al Robinson, Corey. They typically have Deshaun Brooks and Khalil Johnson, but Johnson is out I believe, Corey, with a collarbone injury, as we found out right before kickoff.
A lot of changes tonight.
A lot of changes
will be made.
Short kick coming up right there from Alex Paluti. And Murphy has a great field position at 35-yard line, led by senior quarterback Alex Howell. He's a 56% passer, has thrown for nearly 600 yards and rushed for almost 150 on the ground. The Panthers' rushing attack comes from Theris Wheeler. He was out last week injured, but tonight he's back, and they're going to need him. He averages 9.6 yards a rush. Look for Howell to connect with Tanaka Scott or Al Robinson. They are the Panthers' top receivers. Up front, the Panthers' offensive line averages 267 pounds. They are +1 in the turnover ratio, and the Panthers average 15.6 points a ball game. We just talked about Wheeler, and they throw it out to him. He gets it back to the line of scrimmage for the first play, Corey.
And, again, that swing pass is to Rayshawn Kid Bryant, who comes
right about that.
of the backfield, and because of it, he has switched and is playing both sides of the football for the Murphy Panthers. At this point in time in the season now, what you try to do is get your best players on the field. About 3 weeks ago, we saw him make his offensive debut against the Theodore Bobcats. Continues to do so tonight for the Murphy Panthers.
That 8 and that 6 really is messing me up, Corey, when they wear the blue uniforms. But Murphy isn't blue. They are technically the home team tonight, as Howell gets that ball out to his receiver, and he is brought down immediately. Wow, a big tackle by the Hurricanes there.
Yeah, it's very important when you start looking at the Michael McInnes with the nice catch, and it was an even better tackle by the Bryant defense as he was lassoed around the collar by Sheldon Cannon from his safety position. A good job, makes his 6th solo tackle on the season. 3rd down and 5 yards to go for the Panthers.
Panthers moving already here on offense, approaching the midfield stripe with Wheeler and Rayshawn Kid Bryant. And Corey, they run into each other, and that play goes for a loss of about 2. It's 4th down here for the Murphy Panthers.
And it'll be interesting to see if Tanaka Scott will assume the punting duties for the Murphy Panthers as he did 1 week ago.
Right.
He had some booming kicks, has the ability to have 3.5 to 4 seconds of hang time, and deep for the Hurricanes is the man with the plan, Aiden Adams, Mr. Everything, for this Bryant Hurricanes team.
Last week, Murphy started off with Trevin McDaniel, and he shanked a couple. They went back to Scott, and that punt is blocked. Rayshawn Kid Bryant grabs it. The ball is basically at the 45-yard line, and look at Bryant in great field position as they start off, Corey.
Landry Huddleston, the linebacker, who is a junior for the Bryant Hurricanes, breaks through the protection. The special teams break down, and that's a huge turnover. Not really a turnover, but basically an 11-yard punt, essentially.
Yeah, ball over
for
on down.
the
Yeah.
Murphy Panthers. Turnover on downs, 1st and 10, Bryant.
I mean, we could technically call it that they were punting it, but they were going to get it regardless. So Landry Huddleston missed everything. We'll be talking about him in a matter of moments. And Bryant is sitting at great field position. Ball on the Murphy 45-yard line. As they toss with a little trickeration, they throw it out to Huddleston, Corey, with the halfback end around from Isaiah Dixon. And that's going to be close to a 1st down.
Yeah, good job of coming out offensively. Offensive coordinator Wes Tidwell getting it done, calling the shots for the Hurricanes. Positive yardage, picks up a fresh 1st down for the Hurricanes.
Here's a look at the offensive lineup for the Bryant Hurricanes. Junior quarterback Tanner Ewing leads the Hurricanes. He's a 53% passer with just over 700 yards, 4 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. But Mr. Everything, Landry Huddleston, there he is right there. They'll be feeding him the rock a lot tonight. He leads the team in rushing averages just over 4.5 yards a carry. Now, when Ewing is passing, he'll look for D.D. Lambert. Lambert has 21 catches and averages 12 yards a reception. Also, the offensive line features 4 juniors and 1 sophomore. The Hurricanes are -2 in the turnover ratio, Corey, and they're averaging about 15.5 points per contest. And right now it's 2nd down and 8 as Bryant is on the move.
Adrian Hardy, the strong safety senior, comes up to make that stop for the Panthers.
Huddleston met at the line by the Panthers.
Number 1, Huddleston.
Devon Smith in on the tackle, and we said they have a mash unit on defense tonight, so we'll try to keep you up to date as best we can. Almost 4 to 5 starters out on defense tonight for the Panthers.
And that's huge when you start talking about in a region game.
Yeah.
But to me, the biggest miss is going to be senior defensive tackle Jabari Nettles. It's a young man who leads this defense, has week after week been one of my impact players as long as we've had the Murphy Panthers. But that M on that helmet stands for MASH unit and not Murphy Panthers, as they are missing 6 starters.
Ewing back to pass, throws it into a clouder of Panthers there. Pass incomplete. Also out for the Panthers, leading tackler Isaac Williams, and leads them in sacks as well. So it's going to be interesting what defensive coordinator Taylor Stone has had to put together for the Murphy defense. But right now it is held, Corey. They have not allowed Bryant to penetrate any farther than the 34-yard line. Tanaka Scott lining up for the punt right here.
On a short week, nonetheless, for Taylor Stone, Jordan Hollingsworth was the intended wide receiver.
Cam Baratek, he'll take the punt at the 45-yard line. Typically, this is one of those you're kind of in the middle. You can either punt it or just go for it on 4th down. Coach Doug Haynes punts it. Nice little pooch punt from Baratek. And it spins backwards. You don't want the backspin on that one, Corey. That's like Malab would. You want it to go forward, not spin back on the green. So here comes the Murphy offense out once again. Maybe it'll be a bit better than that 3 and out they had on their first series.
Yeah, you want to try to get some type of offensive rhythm if you're the Murphy Panthers, and that's really what hurt them against the Baker Hornets 1 week ago. Weren't able to get into that offensive rhythm, and you want to do so early and down in distance if you're the Murphy Panthers. You know, I would like to see them go over the top for Tanaka Scott, but he has Aiden Adams on him, so that's good on good in this situation.
And off to Theris Wheeler as he picks up about 3 or 4. Let's take a look at the Bryant defense. The Hurricanes play out of a 3-4 defense, but may show a 4-3 when inside linebacker Ethan Sema drops down. Strong safety Cam Baratek leads the team in tackles, and keep your eye on sack leader, Mr. Everything, outside linebacker Landry Huddleston. You already talked about him, Corey. Out on the edge, Aiden Adams will be ball hawking from his cornerback position. The Hurricanes defense allows 23.8 points a contest, and we have an injured Murphy Panther down on the field right now. If we get a number on him, Corey.
Something they can ill afford on either side of the football is, again, we've been looking at the roster for the Murphy Panthers, trying to figure out exactly the changes in personnel. And again, Tyler Thornton, the young man who plays middle linebacker, as well as switching over to the offensive side of the football. And due to the injuries, Murphy has a lot of players playing both ways.
Yeah, with this injury right now. Let's take a look at the impact players, Corey. You've already talked about one, and he's at an impact early for Bryant, Mr. Tyler Huddleston. Landry Huddleston.
Absolutely. Landry Huddleston, running back, defensive line plays both ways, along with Aiden Adams. I mentioned how the Panthers like to get both of their special teams players playing both sides of the ball. Well, so does Murphy.
Right.
Theris Wheeler, the running back who was out a week ago with the ankle injury, returns. Jabari Nettles is not going to play tonight. He's the defensive tackle for the Murphy Panthers, so that eliminates one of the impact players. Somebody else, next man up syndrome for this Murphy High School team.
Yeah, literally, it is next man up at this situation with Murphy coming into the ball game, a 3-2 region record. They are needing to get a big victory tonight, Corey. I have a feeling this particular year, 2020, I don't think a team can get into the playoffs 7A Region 1 with 4 region wins. I think 5 will pretty much have to be the number to get you in this year. So Murphy looking at probably having to run the table to really secure things. Howell passing that ball out to Tanaka Scott. Corey, you've been calling for it. Each time we have the Murphy Panthers on TV, they listen to you. There's a first down.
You must target this young man 7 to 10 times a game because he has elite ability at the wide receiver as well as the cornerback position for the Panthers.
Right.
That's his first target tonight, his first catch. I would continue to go to him. If the running game gets going, you can look for some play action passes to him as well.
Hand off to Theris Wheeler as he cuts the edge, Corey. He's got room, takes it across the midfield into Hurricanes territory. The first time the Panthers have done that tonight.
Sheldon Cannon makes his 7th solo tackle on the season, but you look at the no containment given by the Hurricanes. He's able to bounce it to the outside, and now with the fresh down and distance at the Hurricanes' 45-yard line, a great opportunity on 1st and 10 to go back over the top to Tanaka Scott, that's when you can go for the juggler, especially right here on the 45-yard line, but Murphy's still trying to stay balanced.
Rayshon Kid Bryant back in on offense, providing some blocking. A little quick out to McKinnis right there. He picks up a couple of yards for Murphy. It'll be second down coming up. I'm sorry, that's Josh Reynolds on that one, Corey.
Josh Reynolds makes his 4th reception of the season for the Murphy Panthers, and he's a wide receiver playing as a junior for Murphy, but anytime you're able to get 4 yards on first down, you have to love it. Again, Alex Howell, the young man who plays quarterback for the Murphy Panthers, had a lot of success 1 year ago against this Hurricane defense, so let's see if they can keep him in the pocket and contain him.
Twin receivers, top and bottom for the Panthers, looking to air this one out. And that pass incomplete. It'll bring up third down for the Panthers. They were trying to get in contact with Trevin McDaniel on the pass, but a flag has come out on the play. Looks like that call is going against Bryant. Personal foul, a big 15-yarder.
Personal foul against the defense, 15 yards, first down.
So first down for Murphy. Allen Duhan, Charlie Shipp, Jerry Burns, David Howell, Colton Godwin, Clarence Jose, and Jamari Harris on our call tonight, Corey.
Alex Howell decides to go with the quarterback keeper, and that's something that I think Murphy can have a lot of success doing. They have to be balanced offensively, and tonight, if they're able to be balanced, I think they can keep this Bryant defense on the field for a while, but it will be up to defensive coordinator Dan Pallone to figure it out. Again, they give up close to 24 points per game,
right,
but Murphy's now looking at a second down and 8 yards to go.
5 wide here for the Panthers. No one in the backfield. They're spreading them out. Bryant rushing 4. Howell's trying to get free. He does have a guy in the end zone. Can he connect? And that is a touchdown to Al Robinson. A 27-yard touchdown, but flags on the play, Corey. I think it'll be coming back.
And that's unfortunate that it will come back. The body language for the Panthers says that it will be against the Panthers, and it looks like it may be a false start.
False start.
And that's just something that when you look at the great spin move by Alex Howell that was made, and then the ability for Al Robinson to get open, he would have had his first touchdown reception on the game. Now it's going to cost you a touchdown and yardage, but it just goes to show you, you must contain Alex Howell.
You have to.
If you're the Hurricanes, that's the difference maker. And head coach said that. Doug Haynes said that earlier when we talked to him in the week, how important it is to contain Howell within the pocket.
Ball on the 32-yard line of Bryant, so that'll push Murphy back 5 yards. Looks like they're going with the same formation again, and they get that one out quick to Robinson. Kind of almost a little short screen there, Corey. He picks up a couple yards. Decent gain there for the Panthers. It'll be 3rd and about 4 coming up here.
He will officially have his 11th reception of the season for the Murphy Panthers. Al Robinson is a senior for Murphy, but 3rd down and 5 yards to go. Let's see if they can overcome that penalty with a fresh set of downs, or better yet, a touchdown. But the matchup that I'm really keeping my eye on for the rest of the night will be Tanaka Scott Jr. taking on Aiden Adams for the Hurricanes.
Howell's got a guy coming across the flat. He does connect. He gets that one out to his receiver. McKinnis once again, his 2nd catch of the night, Corey.
Nice slant by McKinnis on the play. He was just in the slot position and did a great job of bringing in the football. And a fresh set of downs now. Yeah. Looks like it's going to be 1st and goal to go for the Murphy Panthers.
Ball sitting right at the 10-yard line. Theris Wheeler just to the left of Alex Howell. They hand it off to Wheeler, and he hits pay dirt. A 10-yard touchdown for Theris Wheeler, and the Panthers are on the board.
Nice offensive drive. They were able to overcome the penalty that took away a touchdown, but they earned it the old-fashioned way by keeping the Bryant Hurricane defense on the field. And just like that, there is Wheeler. Welcome back, Mr. Wheeler.
Now, speaking of injuries, Corey, Edie Bingy is actually out. So kicking tonight is Enoch Irakosi. We have no kicking stats on him. So let's see how the foot does here, or the leg rather. And the extra point is up, and it is good. Murphy on top, 7-0. We'll be back. You're watching the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. It's a Thursday night edition.
Hello, my name is Kyla Brown, and I am redefining ready. I'm taking AP and dual enrollment courses that will help me earn college credits while in high school. I am studying dental science that will assist me in my career choice of becoming a dentist. I am a Student Government Association representative and actively involved in other activities around my school and community. And this is how I am redefining ready.
Welcome back to a special Thursday night edition of the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. We're dubbing this one the South Mobile Midtown Classic, Corey. The winner's going to get a trophy in honor of Doug Estel, who was the principal at Murphy and then the principal at Bryant. So this is the first time in 23 years he wasn't the principal at either of the schools for this game. So the winner's going to get that nice trophy right there, Corey.
A great representative of both communities. He had the best of both worlds, had an opportunity to be a Panther and a Hurricane,
right,
and a tremendous service for the Mobile County Public School System, Principal Estel was.
So our second look here at the Bryant Hurricanes offense. They benefited some great field position early with a blocked punt there. Got the ball at the 45-yard line of Murphy. Right now sitting pretty good. They're going to spot this one, I believe, at the 37-yard line. So decent field position here coming up for the Hurricanes and Tanner Ewing.
You want to try to capitalize off of the drive. You want to answer the score that was given by the Murphy Panthers right here.
Ewing going to keep that one on the fake to the running back, picks up a couple yards. It'll be second down and about 7.
Adrian Hardy makes the tackle, and he's one of the guys that are left on defense for the Murphy Panthers as they're shorthanded, close to 6 players defensively. And, you know, Al, when you start talking about a short week and having to redo your entire defensive scheme or game plan on a short week, hats off for these guys being able to adapt.
Mike Herndon talked about the game time temperatures and conditions. It seems as if the humidity has backed off on the score. We definitely appreciate that as the back takes it up the middle for about a 2-yard gain. It's going to set up 3rd and 5 here. Big play coming up for the Hurricanes.
Jalen Williams, the defensive tackle, he's a senior, just made his 10th solo tackle on the season, and it'll be 3rd down and close to 4.5 yards to go.
Hurricanes in a pistol position, pistol formation. Justin Brandow behind Tanner Ewing, as they'll put Kyle Carton in motion here a bit. Play clock under 10 seconds. I wonder if Coach Doug Haynes is just going to call a timeout and reset things here. They do snap it. Ewing can't find anyone, escapes the pocket. The Panthers are pursuing him, and he does get rid of it. That pass incomplete, so it'll take Bryant to 4th down. You can see the Panthers bearing down on him as he ran out the pocket, Corey. Here's a look at that Future One's game forecast. We kicked off at about 79 degrees. It's definitely 85% humidity. Says the humidity is going to increase tonight as the temperature goes down. So near 7 o'clock we'll be at 77 and 8 o'clock around 76. Hopefully, Corey, that 15% chance of rain will not happen here in Irvington tonight.
What a difference a week makes, as it was some 58 degrees a week ago, and looks like we're going to have a timeout Panthers.
Looks like timeout
reorganize.
Timeout for the Panthers, so we'll make note of that. Here in the first quarter, 1:46 remaining. No heat timeouts being recognized at this point of the season. Murphy beat Bryant last year. You talked about it, 35-0, and they played 22 times, so this is the 23rd meeting. And Murphy has led the series 17-5 so far, Corey. But the most important thing for the Panthers right now, they need to get this win tonight, 3-2 in the region. They need to keep pressure on Baker, Daphne, Fairhope, and Theodore as well. Mike Herndon, what's going on, buddy?
Well, you might notice there's a sign on the press box up here, Scott and Hicks press box. Those two gentlemen, Steve Hicks and Scotty Scott, were two of the PA announcers here at the I, much beloved in this community, and this is a community that definitely follows its football team. Neither of those gentlemen are any longer with us, and they chose to honor them the best way they could by naming the press box after them.
Great job, Mike. Great job pointing that out. Tanaka Scott picks it up on the bounce, Core. We saw them practicing something like this as we walked up onto the field, and Scott takes it up to the 45-yard line. So good hands right there by Scott.
Gets right to close to midfield. Nice return for the Panthers.
That is Bryant's second, third, and out so far tonight. They definitely wanted to try to get things going as we'll take a look at that replay. Great run return by Scott as Murphy gets the ball at the 44-yard line. Look at him take it off the hop, Corey. And runs it right up the middle and sets Murphy up with great field position. Darius Wheeler with the carry. We'll give him credit for about 2 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 8 coming up for Murphy.
Positive yardage, though, Al, on first down.
Right.
Whether it's even only 2 yards for the Murphy Panthers, brings up 2nd down and 8 yards to go. And Murphy now leading this game 7-0 with 1 minute remaining here in the first quarter of action. And I'm just telling you, I'm a huge Tanaka Scott fan. I know you have the 7-0 lead, but I would love for him to get more touches of the football.
They'll play action. They're looking to try to get to him. They cannot. Howell's just going to keep that one. Looks like he'll pick up 1 yard. It'll be 3rd and 5 coming up.
If the offensive line would have given him maybe 1 or 2 more seconds, that ball would have been thrown to Tanaka Scott, as you just mentioned.
Yeah.
He was definitely looking for Tanaka on that play. 3rd down and 6 yards to go for Murphy, and this is a big-time money down for the Hurricanes. They need to try to get off the field defensively.
Panthers will have to snap it. About a 2.5-second difference between the play clock and the game clock. Howell's going to try to keep this one going up the middle, bouncing off the Hurricanes, but that's not enough as he crosses the midfield stripe, get to the 49-yard line, but he is going to be short, so it'll be decision time coming up for the Panthers on the other side of this break, because we're at the end of the first quarter with Murphy on top, 7-0 over Bryant. It's the South Mobile Midtown Classic. Thanks for watching.
Hello, I'm Renee Phillips, your host of Homeroom. Will you join us as we talk with the students, teachers, and staff about all of the great things happening in our schools?
That's right, Renee. Not only are we here to keep you informed about the great things happening in our schools, but to also keep you updated on safety issues.
Our show, Safe Schools, looks at ways to keep your child and our students safe.
Not only are we looking at ways to keep your child and our students safe, but to keep you informed on how to connect with us.
Manténgase informado aquí en Conexión a Padres.
And we also score big from pre-K to high school with MCPSS athletics.
And then Inside Education puts it all together for you, showing you the ins and outs about news and events taking place across the Mobile County Public School District. We do this to keep you informed.
Welcome back to the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. When it comes to high school sports, scores, players, and the latest on all sports within Mobile County Public Schools, you can get informed on MCPSS Athletics with Brad Lowell, only on the MCPSS TV network. Al Whedon, Corey LeBounty, Mike Herndon covering the sidelines, China Powell handling the stats for us, and Firehouse Subs handling the eats. Got to thank Jim and Susie Sherman at the Greenlight Road location. Yes, Corey, it even works down here in the bayou. You picked it up, so thanks to Firehouse Subs for providing the eats and Future Ones, where you get your team apparel and equipment They got you covered, all sports in between, and I'm wearing my gator for the second week in a row, and Corey, I'm liking it, man. Murphy decides to punt. Tanaka Scott booms that one. The Hurricanes have no one back to field it, and Murphy's going to down that ball at the 11-yard line. Great punt by Tanaka Scott there.
And that's great hang time, and it was able to go end over end as we get ready to start the second quarter of action. The Hurricanes have an opportunity here to go ahead and try to get on the board as they were shut out in the first quarter of action. And you look at the Bryant Hurricanes all time since 2000, they're 3-63 when scoring 10 points or less.
Wow.
They're 23-2 when allowing 10 or less.
So 1st and 10 for the Hurricanes here, ball on their own 11-yard line. Tanner Ewing throws, and that pass is incomplete. Tried to get it out to Kyle Carden. Takes them to second down, Corey. Yes, we know that with Bryant starting off 2-0, that was a lot of excitement here in the Bayou. And Coach Haynes told us the other night they are literally when I say this, one play away from being 3-3. They lost in overtime to Citronelle a couple weeks ago, and it was the last play of the game when Bryant allowed a field goal. So he's trying to keep the kids encouraged. He said they're on a good track at being positive, but he knows they let one get away when they lost to Citronelle that night. But Carton does not let that one get away, hauls it in for a first down, and that's going to move the sticks up to about the 27-yard line for Bryant.
Carton makes his 10th reception of the season, now has over 90 yards receiving, and that's just a big-time catch. Sometimes when you're one-on-one, what you have to do is look it in the football, and that's exactly what he did. Fresh set of downs coming up for the Hurricanes.
That was good. You needed to pick up a first down right there, Corey. Your last two series, you got put out 3 and out. Big run coming up the middle right there for the Hurricanes. And that is a very nice run by Isaiah Dixon. Picks up the first down, gets near the 40-yard line.
Isaiah Dixon plays both sides of the football for the Hurricanes, too. Just has to hold that football a little bit closer to his body, high and tight. Nonetheless, he does pick up a first down for Alma Bryant. Nice drive so far here to start the second quarter of action.
And Dixon is a freshman, Corey, so keep that in mind. A good future coming up for him down here in Hurricane territory. Ewing's got time. He's got a guy over the middle, and that pass is intercepted by the Panthers.
Hardy.
Adrian Hardy plays backup free safety. We were told he wouldn't get the start tonight. It will go to Tanaka Scott, but Hardy is coming in, and we have a turnover here for the Panthers.
Again, have called Adrian Hardy's name a lot in the first quarter of action. He's been on at least 2 tackles. You look at the replay, he does a good job of stepping in front of Tanner Ewing's pass, and that's going to be the 9th interception of the season for junior quarterback Tanner Ewing of the Hurricanes. Now the Murphy Panthers have outstanding field position, leading 7-0 so far.
And right near the red zone, ball on the 24-yard line. Panthers just scored a 10-yard touchdown by Theris Wheeler on their last possession. And Wheeler's bringing this one over here to the near side of the numbers, and the flag comes in, Corey. I'm going to let you guess as to what you think that call is going to be.
Yeah, probably a little bit of holding.
Just a little, huh?
Just a little bit of holding as Alan Duhan will go over to verify exactly what the call is. Good job of trying to bounce to the outside.
Yep, there's the call right there. Duhan trying to get which direction he wants to go with that one.
10 yards from the spot, first down.
So that's going to push the Panthers back to the 29-yard line, Corey, going backwards.
Yeah, that's something that you definitely cannot afford to do if you're the Murphy Panthers. Looks like it'll be a replay of down. First down and close to 17 yards to go, maybe even 18 for Murphy.
Similar formation that the Panthers lined up in to get the ball into the end zone in the previous quarter, and we have another flag, back-to-back flags coming in. As Alan Duhan is signaling that is going to be against the Panthers. Looks like a legal formation, I believe.
Legal substitution.
A substitution, that's what it was. So that backs them up 5 more yards, Corey.
You know, you go from first down and 17 now to first down and 24 yards to go.
Ball now on the 34-yard line.
First and 23 yards to go now for the Panthers.
Almost a quarter of the field here for Murphy. They get the quick toss out. And the Panthers are on the move with that one. Al Robinson once again, and he picks up a lot of yardage. Corey, I think we're going to be looking at 2nd and 5 coming up here.
Sheldon Kanan makes the stop, but if you look at this, Alex Howell with a quick throw to the outside. Good job, a good block by his wide receiver on that play. And
that McKinnis again.
That's what you have to have to spring your wide receiver teammate. Now, I've seen Murphy Panthers convert a 2nd and 50 earlier this season against Foley, but that's impressive on 1st and 23 also.
2nd and 5, ball on the 23-yard line. There's Theris Wheeler once again keeping those legs going. He should have enough for a first down, Corey, depending on where the spot's coming up here.
Yeah, left tackle Devin Smith, the junior left tackle pulling, doing a good job of getting down the field. And if you look at that, look at him trying to find somebody in the secondary to put a hat on. Nice block by Rayshawn Kid Bryant, knocking Huddleston back on the play, but it does pick up a first down.
Sure does.
Right inside of the 12-yard line or so.
So we'll call it at the 11. The Panthers in the red zone once again. They can get a first down without having to score. We have a stoppage in play. Looks like the line judge is coming up to talk to Alan Duhan here, Corey. He's talking to the... So Rayshawn Kid Bryant's helmet came off, and he did not leave, so he'll have to sit out of play, Corey.
One of those mandatory rules.
Yeah, so Panthers bring in Jaquan Evans to replace him. 1st and 10, ball on the 11 for Murphy as they're trying to pick up their 2nd score of the contest. A little quick out to Al Robinson, and the Hurricanes snuffed that one out. No gain on that. It'll be 2nd down again for Murphy coming up.
That's tough when you try to cut up field on this slick grass. The grass is green for the 3rd week in a row.
Beautiful, Corey.
Natural playing surface here at the eye, but it had a nice rain earlier, just enough to make it kind of wet. The humidity is high, so it's hard to get your footing if you're trying to cut up north and south.
Howell fakes a little hitch and go right there. Can he get it to McKinnis? Overthrows him, but a flag is thrown on the play as well here on the near side.
Maybe a holding in that situation.
Possibly could be. As you can see, Duhan talking to Coach Hain from the sideline.
It's going to be declined.
Because it'll be 3rd down. Coach Hain doesn't want to give them a 2nd and 15. He'll rather give them 3rd and 10 here.
Well, what you have to look for right here is definitely Tanaka Scott. You have to be aware of where he is, as well as Al Robinson doing a good job running the seam routes for the Murphy Panthers.
Jaquan Evans in on the formation. He's actually a defensive end for the Panthers, providing some blocking possibly. They give it to Theris Wheeler. They're just going to trust his legs as he gets up to the 5-yard line. So decision time coming up here for the Panthers, Corey. It's going to be 4th and 5, ball on the 5-yard line.
I'm going because
just outside the 5, they can get a first down. Yeah.
Eddie Bingy is not here to kick for the Murphy Panthers.
True.
He's 0 out of 2 on the season.
For field goals,
but it
right.
doesn't matter because he's not here. So you're right there in a good situation to where you can still get a first down without getting a touchdown. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't call a timeout just to discuss exactly how they want to attack this situation on 4th down.
Play clock under 10 seconds, and the offense looking to the sideline for some guidance. So I think Murphy is probably going to call a timeout right here, but that is not a problem because we have something ready for you. Okay, parents, it's time to get connected with Parent Connect. Well, we'll get back to that momentarily, but we're here live in Irvington. at the eye. It is Murphy on top, 7-0 over Bryant. And a big decision coming up here for the Panthers at 7:29 remaining in the half. Also, Corey, I saw the Alma Bryant band warming up before the contest, so it looks like we will have band featured at halftime. And also, with kids returning back to school, we're going to bring back the back-to-school video, if you want to call it back-to-school. But for the parents choosing to send their students back, the safety protocols, we'll run that video back again at halftime as well.
Looking forward to seeing the bands perform.
They were practicing and warming up well before the contest, so Alma Bryant's ready to show what they have here at halftime coming up, and also probably get on the state polls and some region standings as well if we have enough time during halftime. So here it is. It's going to be 4th and 5. The Panthers can pick up a first down. It's one of those situations, the ball appears as if it's closer to the 6 than to the 5, so it's enough to get a first down without having to score.
Howell can beat you with his feet.
You're right. Low snap, and he laterals it to Theris Wheeler, and he is downed, Corey. And that low play did not work for the Panthers, so it'll be ball over on downs to Bryant.
Jacob Markin, the nose tackle, makes the stop, but when you don't have a clean exchange, that's exactly what happens. Wheeler does a good job of picking up the football off the blades of grass here at the eye, but not enough. Good turnover on down, stop right inside the red zone area.
So it looks like Bryant's going to get the ball on the 8-yard line.
They have to be careful here, though, Al.
Oh, my goodness. Huddleston did not get the handoff. He went the opposite way, Corey. Ewing just had the ball there, and Huddleston went to the left as Ewing had the ball to the right. If we can get that replay up, that could have been disaster for Bryant if one of the Panthers had got their paws on it. Look at there.
That's where you have to be very careful deep in your own territory. You've already had one turnover tonight, throwing the interception to the Panthers, and the Panthers weren't able to score offensively, but you don't want them to get points off turnovers defensively either.
They get that one to Huddleston, and boy, he hits the hole and keeps those legs going. I think he's going to have enough for a first down on that carry.
Right at the sticks, and fresh set of downs get you out of the shadows of your own goal post.
Great run by Huddleston, gets it up to the 19-yard line. So they knew what they were doing. Corey maybe could have picked it up on the first down, but he went to the left, and Ewing went to the right on the handoff there. Ewing just taking his time. He's a junior, has another year here, one of the returning starters that could come back for the Hurricanes. That pass is complete right there in the flat to D.D. Lambert. He leads the team in receiving. About an 8-yard pickup there.
And you look at, for the Murphy Panthers, both your starting safeties are out. Rashad McWhirter as well as Javante Carter not playing. Another safety, Isaac Williams, the third, he's out of the game along with Javiron Nettles. So if you're the Hurricanes, you want to try to find a way to attack this secondary of the Panthers, who does not have a lot of experience.
Looks like a false start going to be against Bryant. Will push them back 5 yards. And Corey, you just brought up some very good points because you have a mash unit here on defense for Murphy, and they just want to keep things together as best they can. Only up 7-0 right now over Bryant. Bryant definitely having opportunities to make things happen tonight. So it's going to be 2nd and about 6 here after the penalty for the false start. They fake it to Huddleston, and they try to throw it across the middle, incomplete. A late flag comes in, tried to connect with DJ Betts. So it looks like we're going to have possibly pass interference here coming up against Murphy.
Pass interference against the defense, 15 yards, result is a first down.
So that's the big 15-yarder. Bryant is going to move up to the 38-yard line, and that keeps the drive alive for the Hurricanes. And off to Landry Huddleston as he takes it just across the 41-yard line. having some audio difficulties with Corey's headset, trying to get him repaired. But we are live in the eye here in Irvington, Alabama at Hurricane Stadium. Ball placed at the 41-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 8 coming up for Bryant. Ewing looking to the sideline for the call from offensive coordinator Wes Tidwell. Delayed blitz there, and the ball is tipped, but hauled in by one of the Hurricanes, Corey.
It's going to be Kyle Carden.
Kyle Carden, Johnny on the spot. As that was a live ball, as they tried to set up a screen, and the blitz came through, and Carden was Johnny on the spot and caught that.
But anytime you have the tip ball, you wouldn't have to be active. But a huge down and distance situation here for the Hurricanes of Bryant. 3rd down and 5 yards to go. If they don't get it, they'll be able to punt and flip the field.
As they go to Huddleston, as he carries it up to about the 44-yard line.
Bring up 4th down to go for the Hurricanes in this situation.
And it looks like they're going to be punting, Corey, as they bring on Cam Baratek. They get it about up to the 44-yard line, so Baratek on for his 2nd punt tonight as Tanaka Scott's going to line up at his own 30-yard line.
You cannot let Tanaka Scott catch this football cleanly, because if he does, he knows what to do with it.
Yeah.
You let him get up north and south, and I guarantee he'll put 6 on the board for you.
Nice punt by Baratek. Scott takes it, but he's immediately hit.
Aiden Adams.
Aiden Adams, Johnny on the spot. One of your impact players tonight, Corey. Coach Haynes told us that young man has played every defensive snap since he's been a freshman here at Bryant High School.
Just a tremendous student athlete for the Hurricanes.
Right.
To me, has the ability to play at the next level. Anytime you're able to play both ways at any classification, and especially at the 7A level, you show what type of athlete you are. And he turns around and goes right back to his cornerback position for the Hurricanes.
As you can see right there, 3:37 remaining in the half. Don't forget, we'll have the Bryant Hurricanes band performing at halftime. And I know Al Robinson not happy about that performance, Corey. He dropped it, could have picked up a maybe 4 or 5. They had the blocking set up for him on the screen.
Yeah, I mean, if you're the Murphy Panthers, that's one that you would love to look in on 1st down especially. But the Hurricanes have to respect the perimeter passes that the Panthers are throwing right now, as the Panthers are spreading the Hurricanes out with 4 wide and 1 running back.
Looks like Wheeler back there with Howell. They hand it off to him. Runs into one of his own linemen. I believe that's our buddy Devon Smith playing defense and offense tonight.
Dylan Rowell, the linebacker, comes and makes his 5th solo tackle of the season. 3rd down and 9 yards to go for the Panthers, as this 2nd quarter has gone by extremely quick.
Does Smith get an assist on that tackle, Corey? I know the O-line coach won't be happy when they review the film there.
That's tough when your own teammate
I know.
keeps you from making the forward progress that you would like to. But we mentioned early in the broadcast that this Murphy Panther team, probably a timeout coming right here by the Panthers.
I think it is, yeah. Their 2nd timeout of the half, so they have 1 remaining. Coming to the ball game, averaging 15.6 points on offense, so it hasn't been the most productive Panther offense so far this season. And you talk about him each time we have him on the broadcast, Tanaka Scott, try to get that ball up to him as best you can, because it's important to let him get on the board. Okay, parents, it's time to get connected with Parent Connect. Join Carmen Bounds and Paula Reese as they look into district-wide policies that concern your child and their school. You can catch them weekly right here on the MCPSS TV network. I'm Al Wheaton, joined by Corley Bounty, China Powell doing the stats, and Mike Herndon on the sidelines, and everyone enjoying the Firehouse subs brought in tonight thanks to Jim and Susie Sherman at the Greenlight Road location. Enjoy more subs and save more lives with Firehouse subs. Also, Future Ones, want to thank them for what they do for us. Get your team apparel with Future Ones. If it's baseball, wrestling, football, all sports in between, make sure you wear the Future. Wear Future Ones. So here it is, 3rd down and about 8 yards to go for the Murphy Panthers. 1 timeout remaining. 2:42 remains here in the first half. And Corey, looks like it might be another false start against the Panthers.
Dead ball. False start. Offense. 3rd down.
That has happened more than once tonight for Murphy.
Yeah, something I talked about on my checklist at the beginning of the show. Panther penalty progress.
Yep.
You cannot have as many penalties as the Panthers have had the last couple of weeks. Luckily for Murphy, they're leading 7-0 on the scoreboard right now, but a tough 3rd down and 15-yard to go situation.
Gonna have to pass as Howell puts it up, trying to connect with Tanaka Scott and overthrows him. Howell knocked down, no flags come in, so it'll be 4th and long coming up here for the Panthers. And Bryant still has an opportunity to possibly get on the board. Corey, they are going to receive the ball in the second half.
Now something else, I mean, Tanaka Scott just ran a 40-yard route and now is having to go back and possibly punt this football for the Murphy Panthers. And you would think after running a 40-yard dash in that situation, you wouldn't have as much wind or leg.
Right.
Let's see how far this punt goes for Tanaka Scott Jr.
Good observation for you there, Corey. And that one does not go very far. We do have a slight wind coming out of the north. And Murphy's going to down that ball at the 48-yard line. Great field position coming up here for Bryant if they can get on the board and tie this ball game back up before we go into halftime.
If you're the Hurricanes, you're in Panther territory with the football.
Yeah.
With 2:21 remaining in the second quarter. And you've seen your quarterback, Tanner Ewing, throw 1 interception but have success trying to throw the slant and the quick perimeter passes as well by the Hurricanes. Not really have been able to grind it out, but you have big wide receiver DJ Betts, also D.D. Lambert, to receive this football.
Al Franklin in the backfield. They toss it to Franklin, and boy, he's got some room as he gets the first down crossing the 35-yard line. Al Franklin is a senior here for the Hurricanes, and that's going to move the sticks, Corey.
I love the way the defensive back broke down, kept his head up, lowered his shoulder to make that tackle, but a nice little option play for the Hurricanes, getting positive rushing yards, and a good open field tackle, tackling in space, was also critical for the Panthers. That was an outstanding tackle in space.
Big 14-yard run right there for Franklin. They go back to him. He hits the hole, and the Panthers hit him and push him back behind the line of scrimmage. I believe it's forward progress. They may give him credit for about 1.5.
Jalen Williams on the stop for the Murphy Panthers. Now brings up 2nd down and 9 yards to go for the Hurricanes, and you're almost in your 2-minute offense in this situation with 1:27 remaining here in the second quarter. No need to panic because you have timeouts that can stop the clock, but you want to go ahead and get to the line of scrimmage and get the next play called also.
You sure do. 2nd down here coming up for the Hurricanes. Ewing's got time. He's got some room. He tries to throw that one across the middle and cannot connect with his receiver. Trying to get in contact with Jordan Hollingsworth. That pass incomplete. It'll be 3rd and long.
Deshaun Brooks comes up from his cornerback position and is in defense for the Murphy Panthers. 3rd down and 9 yards to go. And if your offensive coordinator, Wes Tidwell right here, I personally would want some type of draw screen, because on 4th down, the clock's going to stop if you try to pass it and it's incomplete and not completed.
And that's what they do, going across the middle, trying to get it to DJ Betts, the big receiver. Ewan put a little too much mustard on that one, Corey.
And it's hard to do when you have a 6'3" wide receiver. Hits him right in the hands on the slant, unable to come up with it because it was such a hard throw, as you just mentioned. But now you're at 4th down and 9 yards to go. The clock is stopped right at 1 minute. And you're in Murphy Panther territory, probably right at the 33, as there's going to be a timeout called by the Hurricanes. in this situation, I'm not going for it. I'm going to go ahead and punt the football and make the Murphy Panthers drive the length of the field right here. I don't want to gamble and give up real estate. I would rather there be a touchback with the kick in the back of the end zone and or a pooch kick that allows Murphy Panthers to try to go the length of the field.
Now, to go back to that play, to kind of piggyback off what you said, Corey, I thought maybe they would have done a draw play on third down
absolutely.
And then come back and go for it on fourth at that point, because you probably would have picked up maybe 3 or 4 yards and had fourth and about 5, maybe 4th and 4 coming up here. So big decision for Coach Doug Hang and Wes Tidwell and the crew.
Yeah, in this situation now, 4th down, 9 yards to go. You're talking about strategy to see what it's going to be.
All right, here come the Hurricanes out on the field. We saw one young man right there. Looks like little Quentin Howard Jr. hanging out with us, Corey. He doesn't realize it yet, but that young man's going to be working at halftime, Corey. He just doesn't realize it. Great night for football Thursday night. We appreciate you joining us and adjusting schedules. Hurricane Delta just doing some crazy things in the Gulf. And that pass is complete to Kyle Carton. I believe he will have enough, Corey. He may be right at the line of game.
They're going to give it to him.
First down for the Hurricanes.
That's huge.
That is.
And you had an opportunity out of that timeout to go ahead and design your best play, and you get it to Carton. As you look at the instant replay, that pass has to be on the money, and it really was, as Carton's able to bring it in.
Back to Franklin, up the middle they go. May want to question that particular call right there. With the game clock at about 35 seconds, that play went nowhere, so it's going to be 2nd down and 9 coming up for Bryant.
Well, you were on 4th down, and you dialed up the correct play because your quarterback, Tanner Ewan, had to throw a strike.
Right.
He was able to do so. Then on 1st down, you decide to go ahead and run the football, whether you're going to have to burn your timeout. So, again, play calling is up to the guys who are on the sidelines. It's easy for me to go ahead and second guess a decision from up here, but, you know, I just go with the odds in that situation. If I'm a gambling man on 4th down, I want to try to make them drive the length of the field, especially since my quarterback has not really got into an offensive rhythm. But nonetheless, the Hurricanes were able to get that 1st down and now are facing 2nd down and 10 yards to go.
Ball at the 17. Ewing gets it across the middle. Carton cannot hold on to it. That's going to take them to 3rd down, Corey.
Money down for the Murphy Panthers as defensive coordinator Tellis Stone and his guys have T-shirts designed that say "Get off the field" on 3rd down, which is money down. Let's see if the Panthers are able to hold the Hurricanes here, because this is 4-down territory for the Hurricanes.
That was great coverage by Winston Slater right there on Carton. So another 3rd and long coming up here for Alma Bryant. Ewing escapes the pocket and just hauls it off. And that pass incomplete as the Panthers came in with the blitz and flushed him out of the pocket.
Good job of the Panther defense flushing Tanner Ewing out of the pocket. And just like that, we're going to see another 4th down with 20.6 seconds remaining here in the first half of action at the I in Irvington, Alabama.
Andre Hunt bringing the heat with the rest of the Panthers here. Ball on the 17-yard line. It is 4th down and just about 9 yards to go. It looks like a double pass, Corey, and in the end zone wide open is DJ Betts. A 17-yard double pass, and the Hurricanes are on the board.
That's what happens when you get a secondary that is new. They go ahead and bite, they come up, and an outstanding throw is made by D.D. Lambert as he finds DJ Betts for his 3rd receiving touchdown of the season. The point after is pending. If it's good, we'll be knotted up at 7 apiece.
Landry Huddleston gets it through, Corey, and we are tied 7-7. That was a beautiful double pass from Ewing to Lambert and from Lambert to Betts. Here's the replay coming up.
But if you focus on the secondary, of the Panthers. They bit on that swing pass, which sucked the cornerback up. And as he came up, wide open was DJ Betts in the back of the end zone. But again, that's why we're up here, Al, and it's easy to second guess. You're able to convert a couple of fourth downs.
Yeah.
And then on the trick play inside the red zone area, you're able to catch the Murphy Panthers secondary not being alert and not really being aware as a secondary that is a patch-made secondary.
Yeah, it's a mass unit tonight.
Coordinator Tellis Stone. Rashad McWhirter out, Javante Carty out, Isaac Williams the third out, all play in the secondary for the Murphy Panthers. And because of it, the Hurricanes are able to get 7 on the board.
Great play call by Wes Tidwell and Coach Doug Hayne on that one as they dialed up the perfect play, had the Panthers looking into the backfield. Al Robinson with that kickoff. He's going to take it here. Tried to get up to the 30-yard line, and the Hurricanes hold tight as we have 3 seconds remaining here in the first half.
And I think that was an 8-play drive that was established by the Hurricanes. And I know for a fact 2 fourth-down conversions for Alma Bryant in that situation, Al. And, you know, a double pass with the young secondary, that's a great call by offensive coordinator Wes Tidwell, head coach Doug Hayne.
Looks like the Panthers just going to take a knee here, Corey. I think that's a smart play right now. Well, they're actually going to snap it, and there it is. Howell just takes the knee as we go to halftime with the score 7-7. And a great double pass there from Ewing to D.D. Lambert, and Lambert gets it over to D.J. Betts. And just like that, Corey, we are 7-7 at halftime.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the double pass, the couple of conversions that were made by the Alma Bryant Hurricanes, leads us to a 7-7 game here in the I in Irvington, Alabama. But, Al, I tell you what, when you start looking at the Murphy Panthers being shorthanded defensively, you would expect Bryant to recognize that and go ahead and try to attack that. But it's up to Tanner Ewing, the quarterback, to deliver those passes and give the offensive line credit for giving them time to go ahead and complete those passes.
All right, let's take it down to the sideline and see who Mike Herndon has.
Coach, it's obvious this is a game of momentum, and you sure grabbed some with a little trick play there right before halftime. How important is it to get on the board, and tell me a little bit about that trick play?
Well, it's important for us to score there, and we get the ball first coming out. We got to settle down a little bit. We had a couple wrong routes that we ran. There's some confusion with the receivers and the quarterback. We think we got that fixed now. We're going to talk about when we go in at halftime. We threw the interception there. That was part of that deal going on there. We got to contain their quarterback. We got to contain the receivers, and we just got to settle down on offense.
I know turnovers are a big issue for you, and that certainly was a bad one, but it certainly helps when your defense erases it with a fourth down stop. Talk a little bit about their play tonight, limiting the big plays.
Well, you know, so far, besides the one drive, they're playing well, and you know, they need to keep playing well because Murphy is a very explosive team. So if we let up for one play, they're going to score.
Thanks a lot. Good luck the second half.
All right, thank you, Mike. We appreciate that. The Bryant Hurricanes trying to take advantage of the 2-for-1, Corey. Score, and then you get the ball back here in the third quarter.
That's the strategy that they were looking at, Al, and it worked to their advantage. But Coach mentioned it, the turnover, but 7-7 is our score here at the I.
All right, we'll be back with Alma Bryant Hurricane Band headed your way. It's halftime for the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
What's the matter, baby? You're not feeling good?
School-aged children are at a higher risk of getting and spreading germs and viruses. To help protect the spread, students are encouraged to stay home when sick. Parents, it's important for your child to remain at home at least 24 hours after they no longer have a fever of 100 degrees or higher without the use of medications. Please help us maintain a healthy learning environment.
Welcome back to halftime here at the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week, a special Thursday night edition. And right now, before we show you the Alma Bryant Hurricane Band, we're going to take it on to Mike Herndon. He's with the principal of Alma Bryant, Mr. David Sprinkle.
Mr. Sprinkle, obviously there is a new trophy with this game tonight, and it's named for a person that you're well familiar with, Doug Estel, who was your principal here at Alma Bryant. Talk a little bit about the decision to name this game for him, create a trophy, and tell me a little bit about what he means to this school.
Well, for 20-plus years, Mr. Estel served both Murphy Panthers and the Alma Bryant Hurricanes. So Mr. Toomey and I got together and we wanted to do something to remember him and recognize him for all of the students and teachers and the communities that he's affected positively. So what better way to do so than the name a football game, the Doug Estel Bowl, Midtown versus South Mobile County. So this is the first year we're doing this, and unfortunately Mr. Estel wasn't able to be here tonight because he's working at St. Luke's, but in the future we plan on him being here to present the trophy.
And this is your first year at Alma Bryant, and obviously a little bit of a challenging year with COVID-19 and the restrictions and having to start remotely. Tell me a little bit about how things are going so far this year and as we transition back to in-class instruction.
Well, things are going fantastic right now. Our teachers are rock stars. They basically have to train themselves or get trained to instruct differently than they were ever learned. So they're doing a great job with it. Our kids are doing a great job with it. We have a very high participation rate with remote learners, and now our freshmen transitioned back into school this week, and we had 280 freshmen back in the building as of this week.
Great, and somebody else is doing a great job right now is your marching band, so we're going to turn it over and listen to them for a little bit. Thank you, Mr. Sprinkle.
Thank you.
All right, let's hear it one more time for the Bryant High School 2020 Hurricane Marching Band.
And there's the sound of the Bryant Hurricane Marching Band as they come off the field. We're going to take a break and then come back with the video about kids returning to school here during the COVID season. We're going to replay that video for you as well coming up here at halftime. It's the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
A teacher is one of the biggest investors in a community.
They impact the lives of those we value the most.
Teachers share knowledge which helps shape and mold our future leaders.
Teachers show direction and help build a sense of purpose. Are you ready to make a change? For more information on teaching opportunities, teacher incentives, or to apply with the Mobile County Public Schools, log on to www.mcpss.com.
Each month, more than 90 guns are reported stolen from unlocked vehicles, creating the potential of serious injury or death.
Lock it up.
Many violent acts and crimes are committed with stolen guns.
Lock it up.
According to ATF, stolen guns pose a substantial threat to public safety.
Lock it up.
Be responsible. Take time to record your handgun serial number and secure it from thieves. Lock it up.
Lock it up for me.
Hello, I'm Katrina Frazier.
And I'm Deborah Robinson, and we would like to be your next realtors. As homeowners, we know how confusing it can be searching to find that perfect home that fits your needs and budget.
For that reason, it's important to have a reliable partner to represent you and to be there for every step of your home buying process. You'll find the services offered through Berkshire Hathaway, Home Services, Cooper & Company Realtors are second to none.
So whether you are buying or selling your home, call us today and let our experience work for you.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
At Mobile County Public Schools, we believe it starts with us. That's why we offer Signature Academies.
Hello, I'm Jordan Clark, and I'm in the Health Service Academy at John L. LaFleur Magnet High School. My future career is to be an obstetrician-gynecologist. With this academy, I'm learning firsthand from people already working in the industry. Shadowing them on the job really makes me want to study hard and work harder towards my career goal.
Signature Academies are open to all students in Mobile County Public High Schools. Visit mcpss.com.
We welcome you back to the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. The special Thursday night edition, Bryant and Murphy matched up at 7 apiece. Monday, we'll have some more kids returning to school, and parents, we want to let you know about safety protocols we have in place, so watch this video. Pay attention as more kids return to school this Monday with the Mobile County Public School System.
Mobile County Public School students who choose to return to the classroom may do so this month. We are taking extra precautions to keep our students safe during the COVID-19 pandemic, but we need your help.
Before sending your children to school each day, please take their temperature and monitor them for any symptoms related to COVID-19. That includes a new cough, shortness of breath, or loss of taste or smell. If they exhibit any of these symptoms or have a fever of above 100, please keep them home. They should also be kept at home if they have been in close contact with anyone who has tested positive for COVID-19. Signs will be on display at our school buildings and on buses reminding you to make sure that your children are symptom-free before they come to school. We have hired additional nurses to help monitor their well-being while they are at school. Students in grades 2 and up will be required to wear masks at school and on buses. Younger students are also highly encouraged to wear masks. Our custodial staff is sanitizing all areas of our buildings with a disinfectant that has been certified to fight COVID-19. Frequently used surfaces and touch points like desks, door handles, and light switches will be disinfected throughout each school day, and schools will be thoroughly cleaned each evening. Hand sanitizing stations will be available at schools and on buses. Students are encouraged to bring their own water bottles to school as water fountains will be turned off. To encourage social distancing, we are limiting movement within the schools. Elementary students will remain in the same classroom for most of the day. That may include eating lunch in their classroom. Protocols will be in place to limit the number of students in hallways during class changes at middle schools and high schools. Students will be seated further apart in classrooms, and reminders will be posted in hallways to maintain a healthy distance from classmates. Mobile County Public Schools is committed to providing your children with a high-quality education in these challenging times, and we will do this as safely as possible so that we can all continue learning today and leading tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Todd.
And I'm Terry, and we'd like to invite you to join us as we take a look at nature in ways that you've never seen before.
Come travel with us as we go coast to coast to uncover some of the most interesting animals
and some of the most beautiful scenery that's offered outdoors.
You can join us on our nature adventures right here on the MCPSS TV network.
Give me a spot. You know my motto, safety first.
They could be dangerous. I think we should call animal control.
Animal control?
To be safe.
Don't worry.
Just...
I got this. It's a new motto.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
What's the matter, baby? You're not feeling good?
School-aged children are at a higher risk of getting and spreading germs and viruses. To help protect the spread, students are encouraged to stay home when sick. Parents, it's important for your child to remain at home at least 24 hours after they no longer have a fever of 100 degrees or higher without the use of medications. Please help us maintain a healthy learning environment.
And we're getting ready to give you the Alabama State Writers Association top 10 polls, Corey.
And it's something that changes on a week-to-week basis in this situation. And because it does change, there's a lot of people, whether it's COVID or whether it's just you have a loss or whether it's you're just playing good football, it
Right.
does change on a week-to-week basis.
All right, let's take a look at the 4A poll. American Christian holds tight as the #1 team, and once again picking up all 23 first-place votes. 2, 3, and 4 remain the same from last week. Good Hope lost their first game of the season and drops to number 10, allowing Madison County, Hanley, and Ottawa to move up a few spots outside the top 10. There's Williamson picking up 17 votes. Let's move up to the 5A poll. Over in 5A, the top 9 are all the same from last week. The only change is UMS Wright falling out of the top 10 after their overtime loss to Faith Academy. Cora, we know what happened there. So the Bulldogs are outside of the top 10, receiving 3 votes. That move for UMS Wright with competitive balance, you could kind of say it hasn't really worked out for them this season, Cora.
UMS Wright leading Satsuma 7-0. And also you have Faith Academy leading Viger 28-7 at halftime.
All right, let's take it over to the 6A poll. Up in 6A, Oxford remains #1. Saraland falls 4 spots to 6 after their loss to Spanish Fort. With that win, the Toros bull their way into the poll at #9. Blunt and McGill each move up 1 spot to 7 and 8, respectively. And lastly, in the 7A poll, the top 4 teams are the same from last week. Central Phoenix City falls 3 spots to 8, allowing Fairhope, Daphne, and Theodore to move up 1 spot each, now sitting at 5, 6, and 7. Austin and Prattville round out the top 10 at 9 and 10 for another week. So there's your look at the Alabama Sports Writers Association top 10 polls, Corey.
7A, you have Fairhope and Theodore going to battle tonight, so something will shake itself up
sure
in
will.
that 7A poll also.
Speaking of shake up, look at the your halftime stats here from the first half.
Murphy, 44 rushing yards, 62 passing yards. I talked about on my checklist, they had to be very balanced.
Right.
That's a good balance, have 106 total yards. You're looking at the Hurricanes, 26 rushing yards, 94 passing yards, and a lot of those yards were gained right before halftime, not only on that double pass, but on a couple of 4th down conversions as well. You're looking at total yards. Bryant has 120 total yards, 1 turnover. The penalty situation for Bryant, 2 for 20. Murphy, 4 for 40. That has to be cleaned up in the second half for the Murphy Panthers.
Got to get that cleaned up. We're moments away from giving you the second half kickoff. Don't move. We'll be back with more action. You're watching the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week, a special Thursday night edition.
Diesel is a very big industry, and I went into it in a 2-year program at the Bryant Career Tech with Tony Timmons.
When Jacob graduated from the Bryant Career Center, he had earned his diesel credential.
The Career Technical Center taught me a lot, all the way from not knowing anything about a motor or engine to knowing pretty much every single moving part of them.
MCPSS Career Tech. Start your future today.
The Environmental Studies Center is a natural sciences education facility designed to provide unique learning experiences. In addition, wildlife rehabilitation plays a vital role each day at the center. Featuring more than 500 acres of rich woodlands, the center affords teachers, students, and the general public an opportunity to experience firsthand the natural environment. Environmental Studies Center. It starts with us in the Mobile County Public Schools.
I believe my child's school is probably one of the best ones I could have picked in Mobile. She's in the PACE program. The teachers are phenomenal. The principal, couldn't ask for a better principal. The research that I had done myself, I believe the quality of education in Mobile County Public School System is excellent. For me and my child, I'm going to stick with the public school system. I think it's the way to go.
We welcome you back to the Eye for a special Thursday night edition of the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. Al Wheaton, Corley Bounty. On the sidelines is Mike Herndon. Handling the stats for China Powell, our producer Quentin Howard, director Wade Ford, and engineer Francis Conaway Corey. We were supposed to play this game tomorrow night at Ladd Stadium, but Hurricane Delta kind of upended some things, and we are here in Bryant, and it is Murphy's home football game.
Yeah, one of the first times that you'll see a home game taken away from the Panthers, and they'll be the home team on an opposing team's field. But, again, we mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, Al, the M on Murphy's helmet stands for MASH unit, as they're missing over 7 starters in tonight's game.
Aiden Adams with the kickoff return right there gets it up to about the 32-yard line. You're so correct, Corey. This would have been Murphy's technically last home game because their next 2 ball games, they're going to be on the road. Next week they're going to host Daphne. Then they're going to take a bye, and then they're going to be going to Fairhope. So they had one more with Daphne, so I was mistaken there. But it was huge for them to try to get that second home game before the season wrapped up.
Not only that, Al, you're looking at the situation. This week was supposed to be homecoming
for the
Murphy Panthers.
That's right.
And it gets pushed back as, again, this Murphy Panther team trying to dig in and find a way to get a home win in the eye of Irvington.
There it is. Landry Huddleston with a big run, picks up about 5 or 6 yards on first down for the Hurricanes. He'll take it up to about the 37-yard line.
Good positive yardage on first down, as Doug Hain mentioned before halftime. He wanted to go for the 2-for-1, score right before the half, knowing that he was going to get the football to sack. Quarterback keeper on this play.
Ewing on the keeper gets the first down, using the ground game to their advantage is the Bryant Hurricanes. And that's going to take that ball up to about the 47-yard line as Bryant is getting things going early here in the third quarter.
Good job of Bill Gilmore and Coleman Duell. Braxton Scarlett, the center, of getting that push on the left side of the line. He decides to pull it out of the belly of the running back and run for the first down himself. And that's his longest rush of the contest tonight for Tanner Ewing, the quarterback.
That offensive line averaging 256 pounds across the front for Bryant. And running hard right there, Landry Huddleston, he averages about 4 yards a carry. Picks up about 3 right there. Ball exactly at the midfield stripe on the 50-yard line.
Over 100 rushes and attempts on this season, has close to 475 yards of rushing total on the season for the Hurricanes.
We'll call it 2nd down and 6 as Ewing looks to the sideline to get the call from Wes Tidwell, offensive coordinator for the Hurricanes. Set up the little screen pass to Huddleston, and boy, he blazes up the middle. Corey, he is on the way to the end zone, but he is stopped and brought down by the Murphy Panthers. Winston Salter comes in. Big run by Landry Huddleston.
If you look at the replay of this, you see 3 Panthers in the backfield. It's an all-out blitz, and because of it, great offensive call. Wes Tidwell makes that call, and guess what, folks? Landry Huddleston knows what to do with it, but more importantly, he keeps that ball high and tight. His body does not fumble it out of bounds, and 6 points were saved on a touchdown-saving tackle now. The Hurricanes in the red zone here at the I.
On the 5-yard line, 45-yard run by Landry Huddleston. Ewing going to keep that one. I thought maybe the play was going to go as he would pitch it to Huddleston, but it kind of broke down, Corey. Things didn't look right there.
Jaquan Evans, the defensive end, has 7.5 sacks on the season. Tackle for loss, make that number 15 for Jaquan Evans, and that's a huge stop as this Panther defense is on its heels trying to recover deep in the red zone.
1-yard loss for the Hurricanes on their play. Ball on the 6-yard line. Twin receivers as Ewing is looking to pass it, and that pass, is it picked off? I believe it is.
It's close. It is.
We're looking at the line. Yep, that is an interception turnover. Who got that interception, Corey?
16, Justin. 16.
Is that McKinnis?
I think that is McKinnis.
McKinnis doing it on offense and defense tonight, Corey. That's interception.
That's a clean pick in the red zone area. Good job of the Panthers finding a way to bend and not break as they weren't able. And again, I'm going to go back to play before. You look at the touchdown-saving tackle that was made.
Right.
If the hustle's not there, 6 points are on the board. Now the Panthers have to quickly regroup on offense and get out of their own end zone.
Ball on the 2-yard line as they hand it to Theris Wheeler. He gets outside, Corey, and he's on the move.
It's coming back. A hold.
The flags are on the play
99
as
yards
Wheeler is running that one. And he is brought down, but I think that one is coming back, Corey. Aiden Adams on the tackle.
Good exercise.
98 yard. They started on the 2-yard line. You're right, Corey. Great exercise. I know Wheeler is going to be disappointed in finding out that one's coming back.
You know, it's a young man who missed the game last week with an ankle injury, and then he bust a big one for the Panthers. And if he would have known there was a flag thrown behind him, I guarantee he would have just stepped out of bounds and saved 70 yards of breath, because not only
we play first down,
do you go ahead and use that energy that you don't have to. You look at him bounce to the outside, and it's an easy call right here by the wide receiver, and that's going to be number 19 being called for the holding.
Josh Reynolds there.
Josh Reynolds, who does play both sides of the football for the Panthers, and he didn't even have to hold. Just trust in your back. Wheeler got caught with his hands in the cookie jar. Going back to Murphy Panthers up to the 5-yard line now.
Yeah, that's the fortunate. They were on the 2. But it's a spot foul, so it looks like it's going to be first and about 6 yards. We have a stoppage in play here. Can't exactly see what the officials are. Sideline warning against Murphy. There it is from Alan Duhan. So that's just a warning. No penalty being issued right there.
The next one will be of the 5-yard variety.
Sideline warning.
That is something we have seen almost weekly, Corey, during our broadcast. At least one of those going against teams.
Another 7A action in the end of the first quarter. Daphne 2, Mary G. Montgomery 0.
Wow. Hand off to Rayshawn Kidd Bryant. And the Hurricanes collapse on him at about the 5-yard line. It's going to be second and about 6 coming up here for Murphy.
And you go back and you look at Wheeler again, coming off that ankle injury for the Panthers, and then having to run 75 yards and not get anything out of it. You know what he wants to do is, if he would have been able to get that long 70 or 80-yard run, they would have fed him the football again. But now he's just trying to regain his win still from that long run that was taken back for the Panthers.
Hand off to Theris Wheeler. He hits the hole. Nice gain there. He should be close to the first down marker. See what the spot is, and the chain gain is on the move, so it's a first down for the Panthers.
Henry Wynn on the stop. The defensive end, who's a sophomore, has 15 quarterback pressures this season along with 3 sacks, but the Panthers are able to catch their breath right here and get a first down. And when you're in a first down situation right here, I saw Tanaka Scott targeted 3 times in the first half.
Right.
I would like to see him targeted again to start the third quarter of action on this first down series.
Murphy gets out of the hole there with it back against the end zone. Nice counter. You're right, Corey. Rayshawn Kidd Bryant. And that's a great play by the Panthers. He picked up about 7 or 8 on that carry. It's going to be second and short.
Rayshawn Kidd Bryant, again, not used to playing running back until a couple of weeks ago when he started playing it against the Theodore Bobcats, ran extremely hard. It's a nice 1-2 punch to have when he and Theris Wheeler are both healthy, but you're able to pick up positive yardage on first down off of that nice counter play.
So ball sitting at the 24-yard line of Murphy. Second and short here. This time they're going with Wheeler. So kind of using the 1-2 punch tonight of Theris Wheeler and Rayshawn Kidd Bryant as Murphy using their rushing attack to try to work the clock and pick up yards to get out of this hole that they're in.
Well, Mike Herndon mentioned it early. One thing that you have to keep an eye on is the hydration of these players, because here we are at October the 8th, and it goes from 1 week ago from being 59 degrees to being close to 80 degrees. And because of it, the humidity has been extremely high, and I wouldn't be surprised if you start seeing a lot of cramping taking place.
Panthers keeping this drive alive as we're under 6 minutes. Don't forget, we'll have the game of the week brainbuster coming up between the third and the fourth quarter. Corey LeBounty on a 2-game losing streak with the brain buster, and Kid Bryant has lost his helmet once again, Corey. He'll have to come out one play.
Got to get that chin strap a little bit tighter.
Yep.
Because like you said, anytime the lid comes off a second time, there has to be the type of equipment adjustment there. But positive yardage on first down, second down and 6. Murphy's had a lot of success here in the third quarter of play, running the football, bouncing the football to the outside, not necessarily running in between tackles.
Hand off to Michael McKinnis. I'm sorry, not McKinnis on that carry there. Coming in for the Panthers, Keyshawn Johnson. First time calling his name tonight, and he was popped at the line, Corey.
Popped by Kurt Carden, the sophomore linebacker on the play. Third down and short to go now. You really have to get good push up front if you're the Murphy Panthers offensive line. Devin Smith, Zykees James, Malachi Howard, Jalen Haston, and Douglas Boyce. The big beef up front are going to have to only push this Bryant defense back 3 yards.
3rd and 3. Rayshawn Kid Bryant is pretty much just running to the stick and runs out of bounds. Smart for him as he picks up the first down. Is there some laundry on the, yes it is, right there at the far side of the 30-yard line near the Murphy bench. We do have a flag.
Going to be a holding call against the Panthers, and you pick up the first down, and then all of a sudden you have to bring it back.
All right, Corey, here it is. Coming up, we got your brain buster question. Thought we were ready for it right there, but we'll have it coming up in a matter of moments here, so that's going to push Murphy back. They're going from 3rd and 3
flag on the Panthers
to about 3rd and 12 coming up here, so definitely shot themselves in the foot pushing that ball back to the 20-yard line.
Now, if you're at the 20-yard line, having 12 yards to go, it changes the play calling.
Yeah,
Murphy's been bouncing the football to the outside, but Tanaka Scott here at the bottom of the screen all by himself in one-on-one coverage.
Howell looking that way. Targeted Scott, incomplete. Aiden Adams all on the coverage.
And that's the matchup
That's the matchup you talked about, Corey.
And Howell on his throw for Tanaka Scott Jr. to be effective as a wide receiver, you have to put him in a jump ball situation. You know, not the best route runner, but he does have 5 inches on the defensive backs that he does play. Now Tanaka Scott Jr., after again running a route, is going to have to punt the football. That's the second time tonight we've seen him have the ball thrown at him, and then he turns around and has the punt also. And Tanaka Scott would bounce right back out and play defense also for the Murphy Panthers. So that just shows
that ball
the type of athlete
tipped at
he
the
is.
line there. And it's going to get up to maybe the 39-yard line. So Bryant will have great field position here. All right, Corey, let's put it up. The game of the week brain buster question. What team has Bryant scored the most points on in a game and allowed the most points to be scored upon them in a game?
Al, you must, on these type of questions, have to go to multiple choice because it has to be one team in the situation, but what team has Bryant scored the most points on in a game and allowed the most points to be scored on upon them in a game?
Well, think about that one, Corey. We'll reveal the answer between 3rd and 4th quarter. I think the guys in the truck added a little sound effects there. I like that. A little tick-tock of the clock there, Corey. So big ups to Eric on audio for being creative during the broadcast.
Yeah.
See, Thursday night can bring a lot out of the crew, Corey.
No question about it.
Switch to one night. Look at what happened. Second down here coming up for the Hurricanes after that carry about 2 or 3 yards. Daniel Breed in the ball game tonight. They go back to Breed, and he's trying to go behind the line there as he gets it to about the 35-yard line. We're notched up at 7-7. Al Whedon, Corey LeBounty on the sideline. Mike Herndon, China Powell doing the stats for us tonight as we come to you live from the I with a special Thursday night edition of the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
Tyrese Williams from his defensive end position making the stop for the Panthers.
All right, Corey, here's a big one here for Bryant. 3rd and 6 coming up. I'm going to agree with the PA guy right there. Ewing looking to connect, and that ball is tipped right at the line of scrimmage by Jaquan Evans, Corey. He is a guy doing a lot tonight for the Panthers defense.
And Coach Hayne mentioned it at halftime with Mike Herndon that you're in a situation where you have to run the correct route. And even though that ball was tipped, didn't look like a great route was run. The route was run beyond the sticks, but deep into Panthers territory. The Hurricanes are going to go for it again on 4th down.
All right, they're in no man's land, so they might as well go for it here. Ewing has lots of time and tries to connect over the middle with D.D. Lambert. I don't know if that ball was tipped or if it just was a flailing duck there, Corey, but it fell short.
From where we're sitting right on the 45-yard line of the Hurricanes, it looked like he just barely missed D.D. Lambert.
Yeah.
I really couldn't tell from the angle that we were sitting at the press box whether it was tipped or not, but it looked like Lambert was open.
It did.
And if it would have been a great throw, you would have had him still running into the end zone, but the ball just, tipped away. And if you lead your receiver just a little bit further, that he's going to catch that in stride, but the Panthers are able to hold and take over offensively. See if we get a steady dose of offensive running by the Panthers.
Handoff there with the Panthers, getting that ball to Winston Salter. He's playing a little offense and defense tonight too well. He had that touchdown-saving tackle of Landry Huddleston right before halftime, Corey.
Malachi Howard and Douglas Boyce doing a good job out front, leading that big offensive line for the Panthers. 2nd down and 6 yards to go.
Murphy doing a good job of alternating their running backs tonight. Little counter with Rayshon Kid Bryant. He's hit right at the line of scrimmage, so it looks like no gain on that play. It'll take Murphy to 3rd and about 7. Bryant has lost 6 in a row to Murphy. Their last win was against the Panthers back in 2013, so they're looking to get a win tonight in what we now are calling, in honor of Principal Doug Estel, calling it now the South Mobile Midtown Classic. So we will have a trophy presented at the end of the ball game to the winner of tonight's contest. Back to Rayshon Kid Bryant. He's got some room here on the near side. Got the 1st down across the midfield stripe as he takes a couple of the Bryant players down with him. And great sportsmanship right there by Tanner Ewing, helping up Rayshon Kid Bryant on the Hurricane sideline.
But you look at the running play, a good job of cutting back.
Nice block by Malachi Howard there.
And that's what you have to have in order to get to that 2nd level. But Rayshon Kid Bryant trying to finish the run for the Panthers. And again, that's a young man that lines up at linebacker. And because of this mass unit of the Murphy Panthers, a lot of injuries tonight. You see a lot of the Panthers playing both ways.
Tackle by Landry Huddleston on that play, Corey, and a flag before the ball is even snapped.
Either a legal substitution, because it was right as they broke the huddle.
Yeah, that's a call we have seen earlier that went against Murphy in the 1st quarter. Or is the play clock, or it's not moving?
Want to wave off that flag.
Wave it off, okay.
And I'm not quite sure why the flag would have attempted to be coming out, but
unless it was
a do-over.
The formation, so play clock now running. Murphy with the ball on the Bryant 43-yard line. Johnson with the carry for the Panthers as he gets up to about the 40-yard line. Picks up about 3. And we are under 1 minute remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Murphy simply taking their time, notched up 7-7 tonight here inside the I.
2nd and 7, Hurricane 40-yard line.
Murphy will have to snap it at least one time, about a 10-second difference between the play clock. They go back to Johnson again, and look at him, Corey. He's got green grass in front of him, 1 Hurricane on him, and they do catch up with him at about the 14-yard line. Big run right there by Keyshawn Johnson.
And Keyshawn Johnson doing an outstanding job as a sophomore running the football, knowing what to do once he gets in the secondary. If he would have had that one block by Tanaka Scott Jr., he scored 6 points, but you look at him get past the line of scrimmage, turn on the burners, and Scott's down there at the top of the screen. If he makes that block on Aiden Adams, then that's going to be 6 points, but we're going to run to the end of the third quarter here.
Sheldon Cannon on the tackle right there for the Bryant Hurricanes. So that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter. And we're going to get ready to reveal the Game of the Week Brain Buster, Corey. All right, I think we got a good one lined up for you tonight. Don't feel the pressure as you sit at 3-2. But think about this. What team has Bryant scored the most points on in a game and allowed the most points to be scored upon them in a game?
Well, Al, I'm going to say it's going to be a region opponent.
Okay.
And just thinking back to the history of the Hurricane football, I'm going to go to Rush Probst's era, and I'm going to say the MGM Vikings.
The MGM Vikings.
When they weren't on a great winning streak.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to say.
And we'll get Wade and the crew to reveal the answer. And Corey, let's see what we have. It is actually Murphy. Bryant beat Murphy 59-40 in 2013 and then lost it in the following year in 2014. Corey, I thought you might have been listening to me earlier. Bryant last won against the Panthers. That was their last win in 2013. They're on a 6-game losing streak.
59-40.
59-40. And here's another nugget. That happens to be the most points ever scored in a Bryant football game. 99 points were put up that night.
I was going to say, not a lot of defense being played in that situation.
But good attempt, Corey. I know you're sitting at 3-3. You're not too happy right now. So we'll have to talk to the multiple choice crew. Maybe if they'll give you some sympathy next week. Another helmet comes off. Is that? Well, not Rayshon Kidd Bryant. That time Malachi Howard, his helmet comes off. So he'll have to sit out one play after that run.
And you know there has to be some hard licks being passed.
Yeah.
As the helmets, the lids continue to come off. But we saw the Bryant Hurricanes get deep into Panther territory and had the football intercepted. Now again, they're knocking at the door. Are the Panthers here in the fourth quarter against this Hurricane defense can still pick up a first down?
That's right. Ball on the 10-yard line. Low snap. Howell tries to get on top of it. Ferris Wheeler scoops it up. Wow. Not an opportune time right there. Corey, let's see if we can revisit your checklist right quick if you want to talk about that.
And starting the fourth quarter, Murphy needed to establish offensive balance. They've been doing a good job of passing and run the football tonight. Tackle in space, we've seen a couple of opportunities for the defenders. This new secondary doing that.
Yeah.
The Panther penalties have made progression here in the fourth quarter of the second half action. Had 4 for 40 at halftime. You look at Bryant, they had to eliminate offensive turnovers. They have 2 of them so far tonight. They had to pressure and contain Alex Howell. They've done a fairly decent job of that.
Kind of decent, yeah.
And stay ahead of down and distance situations. We've seen them have maybe a couple of fourth down possessions, but overall, the checklist is kind of held tight.
Panthers going backwards right here in this situation. I think they're going to call a timeout. First timeout used in the second half, so they'll have 2 timeouts remaining. Corey, that low snap on the previous play, that really caused the Panthers to shoot themselves in the foot. So as we have a break right here, let's take a look at the region standings. We'll start with 4A as things are getting a little tight toward the end of the season. Right there you can see it, Mobile Christian and Williamson setting up for a battle, I believe, week after next as they'll face each other. Jackson 2-1, Viger 2-2. Right now you can say those 4 teams still in the hunt right there. It depends. It all comes down to what you call jockeying for position, basically, Cora. Let's take it up to 5A Region 1. We can get a look at that one. St. Paul's and Faith Academy, Satsuma and Rain right now. I believe Rain may have a game to make up with someone, possibly. Alberta played a game, Tuesday night, Corey? They're supposed to play before Saturday, but now it's been moved to Monday.
Yeah.
So nothing can really be determined right here in 5A Region 1.
No, absolutely not, besides the fact that Alberta and LaFleur both will play one another on Monday at Ladd Peoples Stadium.
Yep, so what's going to happen Saturday is now turning into Monday. So flag on the play. as the Panthers are getting called. I believe maybe 12 men or maybe illegal motion. One guy was trying to run off the field, Corey.
Dead ball, substitution against the offense.
So substitution.
5 yards.
Second time we've had that penalty against the Panthers tonight. And they continue to go backwards here. The ball sitting on the 28-yard line. I believe the actual line of scrimmage originally was the 10, but then they had the low snap, pushed them back to about the 13. So you're looking at third and almost 30-some yards to go here for Alex Howell and the Panthers as he went to Tanaka Scott. Howell threw the ball outside, and Scott ran inside, Corey, on the slant route.
Aiden Adams doing his happy dance over there as his cornerback position. Tanaka Scott is not able to complete the route, but even if he was, he would have been very well short of the first down for the Murphy Panthers. We saw earlier this season, I mentioned it earlier in this broadcast, Murphy converted on second down and 50 yards to go against Foley. They'll try to convert a fourth down and close to 30 yards to go here against this Hurricanes. If you're this Hurricane secondary, you cannot allow any of these speedster wide receivers to get behind you.
Trips to the bottom of the screen. I saw some movement. They didn't call it. Going up to Tanaka Scott up top, Corey. Aiden Adams intercepted in the end zone. Turnover for Alex Howell as Aiden Adams is still on his feet, ducking and dodging the Panthers as he brings it up to about the 30. You see a flag on the play? Oh, yes, there's a flag right there. Wow, Aiden Adams with the interception.
And Alex Howell knew who he wanted to go to. It's Tanaka Scott, but Adams had inside position, does a good job of jump ball, and he goes and gets it. And there's a nice return. I don't know if it's going to be a blindside crackback block called against the Hurricanes, but nonetheless, Aiden Adams shows that he is the real deal, folks. Has his second interception of the season, already had one return for a defensive touchdown, has 12 solo tackles, 2 tackles for loss, continues to add to that stat column, but a very impressive interception by the outstanding cornerback that you mentioned has played every snap.
Every defensive snap.
White. Tap the distance to the goal. First down.
So a lot of that return wiped out. Now, the only positive you could say for the Panthers right there, that's almost like a punt, Corey.
It
in
is.
essence, almost like a punt.
That's what you have on fourth down. You want a jump ball situation. It does go down officially as a turnover for the Panthers, but let's see if Bryant's able to ground and pound this ball out. As Tanner Ewing, you just want him to find some type of offensive rhythm, throwing the football to D.D. Lambert or D.J. Betts.
Isaiah Dixon in the backfield with Ewing as the play clock approaches 10. He's checking his wrist there. You need execution here. Smart move. Maybe Ewing just going to eat that one and keep it. They'll give him forward progress. Or maybe, I'm sorry, no gain on the play right there. So it'll be second down and 10 once again. Coach Hain told us on the phone earlier this week they're trying to cut down on the turnovers. That is one of the things that has always plagued the Hurricanes program, turnovers. So tonight, 2 so far, and 1 turnover they've picked up. I believe that ball hit the ground incomplete as Ewing was trying to connect with his receiver out there. D.D. Lambert. So third down and long here, and the Bryant Hurricanes in a hole, Corey. They definitely need a play to get out and take the pressure off the offense here.
Well, what you don't want to do is beat yourself if you're the Hurricanes.
Yeah.
You don't want to turn the football over deep in your own territory. You just want to go ahead and live another day on third down and 9. You want to make sure you take care of the football. And if you're not able to convert, let your punter do his business.
Ewing's got plenty of time. Throws it off his back foot. Incomplete as he tried to connect, I believe, with Carton. Carton couldn't bring it down. He was surrounded by Panthers, Corey.
Carton trying to make his 11th reception of the season, and that was a jump ball situation. The Hurricanes are lucky that the Panthers did not intercept that football, but now you're looking at a situation to where you are relying on Cameron Baratic to have a booming kick and try to flip the field. Tanaka Scott is not deep for the Panthers.
Mike McKinnis back for Murphy to receive this one, Corey. And they've added someone else back there as well, Deshaun Brooks. So McKinnis is going to haul that one in at about the 35-yard line. So Beartech gets off a nice punt. Unfortunately, the Hurricanes could not capitalize on the turnover, Corey, and try to get some points. So we're still notched up 7-7 here inside the I.
And I'm going to say it again, like I mentioned, Alma Bryant since 2000 is 23-2 when allowing less than 10 points.
Yeah, that's in their wheelhouse right there.
3-63 since 2000 when scoring 10 or more.
Murphy with great field position here after that punt from Beartech.
Murphy not much better. They're 1-31 since 2000 when scoring less than 10.
So Murphy on the 33-yard line of Bryant. Hand off to Rayshawn Kid Bryant as a flag comes in on the play.
Right in the area of holding.
Nine minutes remaining here in the contest. Al Wheaton, Corey Bounty, Mike Herndon on the sidelines, and China Powell with statistics. There's the call, holding against the Panthers. Once again, Corey, you talked about those penalties in your checklist.
Holding against the offense. 5 yards. Replay first down.
Baldwin County leads Centradale 7-0 at halftime. Fairhope leading Theodore 7-3 in the second quarter. Daphne leading MGM in the second quarter 9-0.
Hand off to Theris Wheeler as he gets close back to the original line of scrimmage. So we'll call this one 2nd and 10 coming up here for the Murphy Panthers as they look to the sideline to get the call for the next incoming play. Wheeler gets those 5 yards back. And we're getting into crunch time right here for both of these teams. Murphy hasn't scored since the first quarter, Corey. Bryant has held them scoreless as they notch this ball game up right before halftime at 7 apiece. Play clock under 10 seconds. Howell needs to get this one off. Had a receiver, but had to eat it. He's just going to toss it away. Smart by the quarterback there, Corey. Don't take the sack. Just toss it out. Kind of gimpy there a little bit as he came up into the play.
Yeah, it's one of those situations to where Howell, he is not 100%. As you can see him limping.
A little hitch in his giddy up there.
And that's not a good sign if you're a quarterback. Just have to find a way to suck it up for these last 8 minutes. You get an extended week because this game is being held on a Thursday instead of a Friday.
Good observation. You're right about that.
And you look at who the Murphy Panthers have to face next week.
Hosting Daphne next week. So this extra day will definitely help them, especially with us finding out literally. We found that out when we got on the field, the amount of injuries that they have on the team. So 3rd and long here. And the Panthers are going to burn a timeout. I believe that's going to leave them with 1 timeout, Corey. Got to thank the folks over there at Firehouse Subs for providing the East tonight. Enjoy more subs and save more lives. A portion of subs purchased will go to the Firehouse Subs Public Safety Foundation. So thanks to Jim and Susie Sherman at the Greenlight Road location for providing us with the East tonight. Folks over there at Firehouse Subs. Future Ones, where you can get team apparel and equipment. If it's baseball, wrestling, any sport in between, wear the future with Future Ones. 8:07 remaining here in the contest. And next week, Corey, it looks like we're going to try to return legendary Lad People Stadium. We were trying to get that tomorrow night, but it's going to be a 4A Region 1 matchup, Viger versus Williamson. And if everything goes well, we'll go back to our original time of 6:55 next week, if that's okay with you, Mr. LeBounty.
Just fine with me, and you're in a situation to where Williamson has done a good job of coming back to life.
They sure have.
And Robert Woodyard, the Alabama verbal commit, he's back on the offensive side of the football that he played his freshman year. A lot of success, so look forward to seeing the Viger Wolves trying to hold on against Faith Academy right now, trailing 28-7.
Our first time seeing Mr. Robert Woodyard this season. 3rd and 10 coming up here for the Panthers. Looking over toward Tanaka Scott. They do connect with him, and he's wrapped up by Aiden Adams, but he has enough for the first down.
And Tanaka Scott, he wins that one-on-one battle with Aiden Adams as the sticks continue to move. And really, Al, that's what I expected to see a lot of early in the game. But Tanaka Scott Jr., just a tremendous athlete at 6'4". Aiden Adams, we mentioned his athletic ability, already having an interception in the game. 1st and 10 for the Panthers.
Ball at the 22-yard line. Scott here at the bottom of the screen. They're going to give that one off to Theris Wheeler, and that's a fumble. A live ball. It looks like Bryant may be on it. They're excited, and they have it, Corey. Turnover. Montrell Pogue comes out the pile with the magic bean, and it's a turnover, our 2nd turnover for Murphy tonight.
You look at this, and it's all on Wheeler. Good defense, poked away by the defender, and it looks like that Bryant defender who knocked that football away was Sheldon Cannon.
Corey, I don't know if this is a situation, but it's been 6 years since Bryant has gotten a win against Murphy, and I don't know if the Hurricanes have dialed up an Uber, but Uncle Mo may have just hopped in the car to come pick them up.
Well, I tell you, Tanner Ewing is going to have to complete some offensive passes on this drive if they want to have a lot of success here against this stingy Panther defense. But
yeah. Ewing with the handoff. I believe that may have been Franklin on the carry. It was. Going to give him credit for about a yard on the play right there, so it moves it up to about the 17-yard line. And Bryant taking their time, looking to the sideline, getting the call from offense coordinator Wes Tidwell. We're having a good one so far here down in the Bayou on a Thursday night. 7-7, Tanner Ewing, they set up the screen, they get it to Franklin. He needs to beat a guy and get a block there. Picks up about 6 or 7, Corey.
Be it 1 yard short.
Yep.
But Adrian Hardy, who already has an interception tonight, does a good job of keeping him short of the sticks. Will bring up 1 yard to go.
Yeah, about 2 yards to go here for the Hurricanes. There's a ball sitting on about the 29-yard line. Sorry, about the 23-yard line. More so close to the 24 as the center puts it down to snap it. We're under 10 seconds. Ewing just taking his time running down the play clock. Once again, Huddleston goes to the left and Ewing goes to the right. And that pass is intercepted by Murphy. Wow, what a ball game tonight. Jazarian Hardy, I believe, on that one, Corey. Jazarian Hardy, a junior, one of the guys coming in off the MASH unit for the Panthers tonight.
And we have a Hurricane down. That's going to be DJ Betts, who's slow to get up for the Alma Bryant Hurricanes. Look like there may be a flag on the play, a crackback possibly, but throwing off of the back foot is never a good thing, and Betts goes down without a block in the back. The offensive lineman pointing to it.
Landry Huddleston on the tackle. We saw it early in the first quarter. Bryant was backed up in the north end zone. Ewing takes the snap, and Huddleston ran to the left, Corey, and Ewing turned to the right, and no one was home. And unfortunately, it came back right then. They could not get the execution and a turnover with a big interception by the Murphy Panthers. Jazarian Hardy, 5'10", 161-pound junior for the Panthers.
The Panthers at the 32-yard line of the Hurricanes. And let's see here if the Panthers decide to go ahead and go back with Theris Wheeler, give him an opportunity to redeem himself after that fumble that he did have, but because him and Rayshawn Kidd Bryant have been the 1-2 punch running the football for the Panthers.
Those are the two guys I've been thinking about tonight, possibly as Career Tech Education players of the ball game. Keyshawn Johnson with the carry.
Kurt Carden on the stop.
About 1 yard on the game there, Corey.
Going to lose a yard.
But yeah, you're right. He actually lost about close to 2 yards there.
But he just slips at this point in time.
Yep.
The grass is becoming very slippery because of the humidity.
Jaquan Evans in on offense right there, providing some extra blocking. A little quick out to Al Robinson. He tried to pitch it to the lineman as he's trying to get out the grasp of the tackle. And it looks like, Corey, he may be right at the line of scrimmage. I believe no gain on that play.
Sheldon Cannon holding on for dear life for the Hurricanes. And definitely no gain on the play. Brings up 3rd down and long to go for the Murphy Panthers. They've had success here on this 3rd down play of bouncing the football to the outside on a delayed draw or some type of counter action. Really haven't thrown the ball into the seam area.
Hand off to Ferris Wheeler. He gets it past the 30-yard line. So it's decision time here coming up for the Panthers. Definitely in no man's land with 4:43. You don't want to punt it because you don't know what Bryant may get into, but the decision has to be made here coming up. I believe Murphy has 1 timeout, if I'm correct. From what I've been tracking, the scoreboard does say that 1 timeout remaining for the Panthers, so they need to get a playoff. Corey, it looks like they're going for it.
And now what we've seen here is both teams going for it a lot on 4th downs. Will it be the hard count to try to draw them off? But with 1 timeout, you want to go ahead and run your best offensive play.
And probably go for their best offensive player if they could. But they don't go to Tanaka Scott as they try to get that one out to the receiver. I believe that was Josh Reynolds. No, not Josh Reynolds on that one.
16.
Mike McInnes once again just past his outstretched fingertips.
Well, the Bryant Hurricanes will take over on downs, have an opportunity now. Tanner Ewing has to find a way to get this offense in gear for the Hurricanes.
Try to redeem himself.
Has the weapons to do so offensively. As you look at Aiden Adams playing both ways, along with the big wide receiver DJ Betts and D.D. Lambert.
So can Ewing redeem himself here? 3 turnovers for the Hurricanes tonight. All right, here we go. 4:05 remaining in the contest. Ewing gets that ball out, does get it complete to DJ Betts, picks up a couple.
Al, sometimes that's all it takes is those quick completions. Get them out of the quarterback's hands quickly.
Right.
And that's exactly what he was able to do. And you can dink and dunk your way down the field doing that, especially if the defensive backs of Murphy are not playing in press coverage.
Yeah, 3 timeouts, under 4 minutes here. Ewing going to keep it. Great quarterback keeper right there as he gets it past the 45-yard line. Nice run by Tanner Ewing for the Hurricanes.
Rayshawn Kidd Bryant on the stop, but he gets up very slowly as he playing both sides of the football for the Panthers. And that's the second time tonight we've seen Tanner Ewing have the ability to go ahead and take it out the belly of the running back and keep it himself. Picks up positive yardage and gets it to the 45-yard line.
Well, Corey, on the previous series, I said Uncle Mo may have stopped by, but maybe I may have spoken too early. That pass incomplete to Kyle Carden takes Bryant to 2nd down. That one stops the clock.
Yeah, the most important thing for the Hurricanes right here is to not stop the clock, to go ahead and keep that clock running to where if you do score, you don't leave any time remaining for the Murphy Panthers.
Good observation.
2nd down and 10 yards to go here for the Hurricanes with 3:29 left in the 4th quarter. We're knotted up at 7. Great finish coming here from the I in Irvington.
Hornets in the pistol formation as they hand that one off to the big back. Al Franklin steps back into the ball game for the Hurricanes. Picks up a couple. It's going to be 3rd and 8, a long one here for Coach Hain and Wes Tidwell to make a decision, Corey.
Christian Boyd, the sophomore on the stop. He's playing both ways for the Murphy Panthers. 3rd down and 9 yards to go. The clock is still running. That's the positive for the Hurricanes, but
I would say this is a 4-down situation here. They don't pick it up. You got to go for it. You don't want to punt it back to Murphy. Wide open and catching that ball for the Hurricanes. D.D. Lambert hauls it in for a first down. What a completion by Tanner Ewing.
The biggest completion of the game for Tanner Ewing. D.D. Lambert did a good job of coming back to the football. Tanner Ewing kept the play alive with his feet. You look at him just looking at his secondary, third, primary wide receivers, scrambles out of the pocket, makes a play for himself, but credit D.D. Lambert and this offensive line giving him time to go ahead and make that play. That's the biggest completion for this Hurricane football program tonight.
Ewing with the keeper once again, going up the middle, picks up the first down as he is brought down at the 30-yard line. And Corey, we've got a good one right here. It may come down to one of the last few plays as Bryant looks like they're just going to try to keep this ball on the ground and ground out the clock if they can.
What you have to see from the Murphy Panthers, though, is break down and make the tackle. None of those arm tackles are going to work here late in the fourth quarter. You're going to have to cut the legs out from underneath the runners and the receivers.
Franklin goes nowhere with that one as they shut him down. We talked about what's at stake tonight for the Panthers. They have this ball game and 2 more ball games left, which are both region contests, one against Daphne. Then they take a bye, and then they play Fairhope at Fairhope for the last game of the season, sitting right now with a 3-2 record in the region. A loss here will put them at a severe disadvantage. And Bryant looking to end a 6-game winning streak as a flag comes in on that play. That could be a little extracurricular, but no flag comes out from Alan Duhan as he was tackled right in front of the official there.
I don't know if it's going to be a legal man down the field called against the Hurricanes.
Right. Alan Duhan discussing with the official.
It looked like a lineman was down the field, though, when he went to try to throw that football. As we look at the replay there, and that's exactly what you're going to see.
Yep.
You're going to see an illegal lineman down the field.
You had a few of them to pick from, Corey.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they're going to wave it off.
Oh, they're waving it off. The officials discussed it.
That's the second time tonight.
That's correct.
We've seen.
That's crucial right now with it being 2nd and 10. And we're at 1:23, Corey.
But it's great communication by the officials to go ahead and talk it out to find out why or why not there is a flag thrown.
Tanner Ewing throws that one, and boy, it almost was picked off by Andre Hunt. Had his big paws on it.
Andre Hunt tried to jump the route in that situation, just was not able to come away with it. He would have loved to have picked up his 3rd interception on the season. He's coming from his outside linebacker position, but now it's 4th down and 10 yards to go for the Hurricanes. If they don't make this, we're going to overtime.
Corey is predicting it, but I believe before that happened, Coach Hain may have called timeout, as he does want to discuss it with his junior quarterback, Tanner Ewing, and dial up the correct play that they need right now. So Bryant with 2 timeouts remaining, Murphy with 1 timeout remaining. Corey, we could have overtime, we could not. Right now, what are you thinking about your Career Tech Education Player of the Game?
Well, for Bryant, I definitely I think that Aiden Adams has played one whale of a game defensively.
Right.
And contributed where he had to offensively, kind of being a decoy. For the Murphy Panthers, it's kind of a you-pick-em situation with Ferris Wheeler bouncing back from that injury. Rayshon Kidd Bryant playing a great one. Also, Tanaka Scott Jr. having to be the punter, the cornerback, and wide receiver.
Yeah. Take a look at the remaining schedule here coming up for the Murphy Panthers. As you can see him coming into this ball game, overall 4-3 and the region record of 3-2. Just talked about it. They host Daphne next week. They're off, and then they will play Fairhope. So that's the ramifications of this ball game tonight. Needing a win to keep their playoff hopes alive. I personally predict the team won't get in this year in 7A Region 1 with just 4 wins. All right, here it is, Corey. Twin receivers at the top and the bottom. Al Franklin in the backfield. Ewing did with a little hitch pump as he tries to connect with D.D. Betts.
He got it.
D.D. Lambert, that's a touchdown. A 30-yard touchdown from Tanner Ewing to D.D. Lambert. and the Bryant Hurricanes have taken the lead.
Unsportsmanlike after the play owned by the Bryant Hurricanes, but what an absolute strike by the quarterback, Tanner Ewing. You look at the replay, he pump fakes, gets his rhythm underneath, he throws a high ball, the only place the wide receiver can catch it. D.D. Lambert has a passing touchdown and a receiving touchdown tonight for the Bryant Hurricanes.
Sure does.
And this one was on 4th down, just like the last one. So that's two 4th down touchdowns for the Hurricanes. And they said, look, we're not going to overtime. We're going to go to the house on our home field as the visitors trying to get a victory.
Landry Huddleston waiting for the official to come out on the field so he can kick the extra point. Great pass from Ewing to D.D. Lambert. So here's the big one right here. Can the extra point go through for Landry Huddleston? Low snap, and it is blocked. 13-7 is our score. The extra point is blocked. I'm sure Coach Doug Hayne and the crew are hoping that one will not come back to haunt him if Murphy can get into the end zone. Boy, it has really gotten good. Bryant on top, 13-7. We'll be back as we're about to wrap this one up, the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
At any given time, trauma can happen.
And how we deal with it.
And how we make peace with it.
Starts with me.
With Project Thrive, I'm taking the pledge.
I pledge to believe and support others experiencing trauma.
Will you join Project Thrive and its team of partners who are working together to address issues of trauma? Take the pledge. Take a stand, and let's make Mobile a trauma-informed community.
We welcome you back to the eye. Al Whedon, Corley Bounty, Mike Herndon on the sidelines, China Power with stats, and Bryant takes the lead on a 30-yard touchdown pass from Tanner Ewing to D.D. Lambert. Extra point is no good. 13-7 is our score.
Outstanding throw on 4th down. And when you start looking at that touchdown drive, that was a 9-play, 70-yard drive that equated in a 30-yard touchdown pass, took 1 minute and 7 seconds off the clock. The unsportsmanlike conduct penalty now will back that kickoff up for the Hurricanes. The Panthers will get in great field position. Let's see if they're able to capitalize.
Just kind of pooched that one up the middle. One of the up guys from Murphy takes it. King Diamond. And Murphy's going to have great field position as Alex Howell and the crew comes out here. Murphy needs to get a score and get an extra point, which could possibly seal the deal. They want to avoid losing their 4th game in a row. Last time they lost 4 in a row was back in 2018, Corey. So here we are, Murphy with the ball, being spotted at the 32-yard line.
Back right where they were.
You're right. When I look back at my notes, they started their last series on the 32-yard line, Corey. Unbelievable.
And that's going to be a situation now that the penalty, illegal substitution, will be called against the Hurricanes, costing 5 yards. So now instead of starting at the 32,
they'll move it up to the 27.
And because of it, Al,
oh boy,
Murphy's going to go trips right.
They got your guy Tanaka Scott at the top, covered by Aiden Adams. Howell looking that way, going through his check downs. He just throws it away, intended for Theris Wheeler. As we are under 1 minute, as you can see right there, 51 seconds remaining in the contest.
Yeah, what a great finish here at the I in Irvington between these 7A Region 1 opponents. You look at Bryant converting twice on 4th down, scoring both of their touchdowns on 4th down, and D.D. Lambert has thrown a touchdown and also caught a touchdown, but the Panthers are trying to claw back in this one and knot it up at 13 here with time running out here in Irvington.
Al Robinson begging for the ball, and Howell just throws that one away. It's going to be 3rd and 5 coming up. You could see Al Robinson clapping like, throw it to me, I'm wide open.
One of the things that I saw on the last play is watch for the wheel route, and Alex Howell continues to go ahead and limp off the sidelines.
Yeah.
With those wheels being a little bit deflated, it's kind of hard for him to get out of the pocket and accelerate. But here with 43.5 seconds remaining, he's going to have an opportunity here on 3rd down and 5 yards to go. Murphy has to pick up the 1st down right here. They don't want to be faced with the 4th and short. Pick it up right here on 3rd down. Quickly run your offense to the line of scrimmage.
They try to hand the draw play off. They get it to Darius Wheeler, and he cannot get out of bounds. The Panthers may have to burn their last timeout as they get it with 34.2 seconds remaining here in the contest. Murphy tried to catch him off guard with the draw play.
Smoke draw on the play, and it just took a little bit too long to develop.
It did.
And you can look at when he did run the draw, if it would have been a clean handoff, Wheeler would have had an opportunity in open space, but there is no gain on the play. And just like the Hurricanes were facing, now Murphy has a 4th down and 5 yards to go with this game being on the line, because if Murphy doesn't pick up this 1st down, of course the Hurricanes will take over on downs.
Don't forget, next week we're taking it back to legendary Lab People Stadium. It'll be Viger versus Williamson in a big 4A Region 1 matchup. And the few Hurricane fans who've come out tonight are really rocking right here inside the I. 4th and 5 coming up for Murphy. Corey, this is the ball game.
Yeah, I like the timeout being called here because it allows your fans to stay excited. It allows your players to stay excited. And here's the game for both teams right here. You feel the press box shaking.
It's Corey, I think we're at Cat 1 status right now.
No question about it.
Low snap to Howell, and he does connect with McInnes. He picks up the 1st down. He holds on to the ball.
No timeouts.
Mike McInnes with a big one. You got to kill right here to stop the clock. It is 1st down.
1st and goal.
It will stop the clock to move the chain, but no, you're right, Corey. It'll be 1st and goal coming up here. And Coach Doug Haynes called timeout.
And you go back and you look at that defense. I don't know if we're able to bring it up on replay or not, but it's a situation to where Bryant's defense on 4th down wanted to make sure they didn't let anything get behind them. And everybody dropped back. You rush 4 in that situation, but the seam route was wide open in the middle of the field. And Alex Howell did a wonderful job understanding where he needed to go, get the ball out hot and quick. That's exactly what he did. A fresh set of downs now. Let's see if Dan Polon can come up with a defensive strategy to stop the Panthers from getting it into the end zone and tying this game up.
Looks like they're spotting the ball at the 7-yard line. Hurricanes have 1 timeout. Murphy is out of timeouts as we are at 26.6 seconds remaining in the contest. Darius Wheeler just to the left of Alex Howell. There's a snap. You know he's looking for Tanaka Scott with the fade in the back corner. Incomplete.
Good play call in that situation, but you have to give the wide receiver an opportunity to come down with the football.
A little too much on that one from Howell. Need more so of a touch to get it to Scott. 2nd down and goal here for the Panthers coming up. What a ball game tonight, Corey. We are Thursday night under the lights here in the Bayou. Howell looking to connect, and he does.
Touchdown.
I believe that's McInnes.
It is. Touchdown.
Mike McInnes with a 7-yard touchdown grab from Alex Howell, Corey.
How big was that unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on that touchdown, because it allowed Murphy to start this drive in outstanding field position. Now, Edie Binga, kicker, he is not available for the Murphy Panthers.
So kicking tonight, Enoch Irakoze. Enoch Irakoze. And Coach Haynes wants to freeze him. Burns his last time out, I believe. Now, they're saying Bryant has 1 timeout remaining. My count had them being out. But that may be, if you want to call it in this situation, the home field advantage. So Irakoze, also a soccer player, just as Edie Bingy is as well for the Panthers. Coach Haynes trying to freeze him and put the pressure on the young man as we are notched up 13-13.
Here we go. I mean, that's a lot of pressure.
As we said it earlier, they lost in overtime to Citronelle. Bryant could be 3-3 if they hadn't allowed that field goal. Hold is good. The kick is up. And it is good. Wow, a lot riding on that extra point as Murphy takes the lead 14-13. You're right, Corey. That unsportsmanlike really hurt the Hurricanes, because keep in mind they did a short kick on the kickoff, and the Panthers got great field position back to the 32-yard line. So here we are at 14.2 seconds remaining. Murphy on top by 1 point.
And what a great job of Murphy finding a way when they struggled the entire second half to find themselves offensively.
Right.
A great gut check for this Murphy Panther team. Alex Howell with the gimpy ankle finds a way to connect. Ferris Wheeler, an outstanding catch by McInnes, the wide receiver.
And you had a lot of players playing both ways tonight for the Panthers. McInnes, one of them. Slater, we talked about coming in, doing some work for them as well. But how huge was that penalty against the Bryant Hurricanes? And what an emotional swing for the Hurricane faithful here inside the I-Corps. Aiden Adams bringing this one up the middle. And they're trying to strip him. Rayshawn Kid Bryant trying to strip him. 8 seconds remains here in the ball game, Corey. So Murphy delivers on their last series, and they get the score as they get a gut check right there. And now Tanner Ewing is going to lead his Bryant Hurricanes onto the field to try to perform some type of miraculous play to get a victory tonight inside the I.
How big is it for the Panthers being down close to 7 starters tonight if they're somehow able to come away with this win?
Ewing just going to try to heave this one down, puts it all into it. It's enough for the first down. It'll stop the clock momentarily, but it might be the ball game, Corey.
Do it. That is the ball game.
And that is going to do it as Murphy squeaks this one out in the end, literally by the hairs of their chinny chin chin, 14-13, Corey.
And in the Bayou tonight, we saw one of the best games being played by the Murphy Panthers. Both teams played their guts out.
An awesome ball game tonight.
And left it all out on the field.
So, Corey, as we go into our Career Tech Education Player of the Game, it's a young man you mentioned who not only played cornerback, actually he had to move over to free safety. He played punter He caught the ball tonight. I'm talking Tanaka Scott.
Yeah, Tanaka Scott was the punter, was the cornerback, was the wide receiver.
Punt returner.
Punt returner. He lined up and did it all. But again, we said it at the beginning of the broadcast, Al, that this M for Murphy on their helmets stood for MASH unit.
It literally
MASH
was.
unit from an injury standpoint, as they lost 6 defensive starters throughout this short week, and also had to have a backup kicker to kick the extra point to win the game for the Murphy Panthers.
And there it is, Tanaka Scott, our Career Tech Education Player of the ball game tonight, Corey. And what a ball game. We had a total of 5 turnovers in the ball game. Bryant had 3 and Murphy had 2. And when we take the final look at the statistic, it will truly tell the story of a hard-fought battle for both of these teams. Murphy got that win. They really needed it. Now 4-2 in the region.
Well, what they did was they ended their losing streak.
Yeah, ended a 3-game losing streak.
And they did so, again, inspirationally, losing a lot of leadership on the field. And because of it, they found a way to dig deep.
Yeah.
The unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on the Hurricanes really cost them because the kick did not go as far as they needed it to go. Murphy had outstanding field position, found a way to get it done. Looking forward to hearing what Mike Herndon is going to say on the field.
Let's take it down to Mike Herndon right now.
Coach Stone, your team was down several starters tonight, had several red zone drives that stopped, found a way to persevere last 20 seconds of the game. Tell me how your team did it.
I tell you what, man, the message that we had, and we talked to the guys before the game, fighting through adversity. And at halftime, we told them, hey, look, we're in this situation where we had some things that didn't go our way. Little adversity that happened the first half. We got in the red zone, did some things to hurt ourselves, didn't punch it in, and also let them score. So the guys kept their head up and continued to play and all the way to the end, and look what the results were. We got a W. I'm proud for the kids in Murphy program.
Obviously, with seconds to play, you're going to throw the ball in that last series. Take me through the thought process, though, as what type of plays you thought might work in that situation.
Well, the thought process was we had just spent our last timeout, so we didn't have any more timeouts. So we knew everything had to be in the air, and told the guys the thought process was if we got tackled in bounds, sprint back to the line, let's spike it and give ourselves another chance at another play. And the kids executed everything that we were trying to get done. And when you execute things right, that's where it happens.
Congratulations on the win, Coach.
Thank you.
Coach Taylor Stone in there speaking on behalf of the Panthers. It was a big ball game, Corey, and here is the story of the game if you look at the statistics as they come in.
Bryant with 283 total yards, but those 3 turnovers, one inside the red zone that they would love to have back. That winds up being the difference in the game.
Yep.
Murphy penalized 8 times for 70 yards, but still won this game 14-13, and you're looking at backup kicker Enoch Irakoze. He is a junior at 5'11", 205 pounds, kicks the extra point to win the game for the Murphy Panthers. That's very impressive.
What a way to do it. What a ball game we had tonight. Murphy had to get the win. We talked about it, and they did it. Next week, we're going to take it back to Lab People Stadium. It will be Viger versus Williamson. Our first time seeing both of these teams score, so I'm looking forward to this one. And our first look at Robert Woodyard as well.
It will be an exciting contest, being introduced to Coach McKenzie, who we didn't get the chance to see in Week 1 versus Blunt. He'll make his debut on the MCPSS television network.
All right, for Corley Bounty, Mike Herndon, our statistician, China Powell, producer Quentin Howard, and director Wade Ford. I'm Al Wheaton. Thank you for joining us for a special Thursday night edition of the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. Murphy pulls it out with a good one. 14-13, they get the win. Have a great night.